Si desea hacer un comentario, por favor llene una tarjeta y lo manda al correo electrónico bphAKERSA@cdcr.ca.gov. La tarjeta está disponible en nuestro sitio web al cdcr.ca.gov/BPH. Llenar la tarjeta es voluntario, quien quiera puede asistir y hacer comentarios. Si quiere mantenerse anónimo, ponga anónimo en vez de su nombre o ponga los últimos 2 números de su número telefónico. También puede llamar al 916-322-4752 y dejar la siguiente información: su nombre o diga anónimo, su número de teléfono o los últimos 2 números, su organización, el nombre y el número del caso, si está de acuerdo con o en contra del caso, su relación al caso, si es pariente, abogado, fiscal o víctima. Cuenta que no proveemos intérpretes para ningún idioma. Por favor, haga arreglos con un amigo o familiar que le pueda servir de intérprete. Cartas en español pueden mandarse por adelantado al mismo correo electrónico al cual se mandan las tarjetas.
Ready? All right. Moderator, just hang on. Everyone have their microphones off? We're good? Okay. Moderator, can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you hear me, Ms. Schaefer?
Can. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. I'm Jennifer Schaefer, Executive Officer with the Board of Parole Hearings, and I want to thank you for being with us today and welcome you to the Board of Parole Hearings monthly Executive Board meeting. We are hosting this meeting using Microsoft Teams and also in person. We have a majority of commissioners in person for this meeting as required. Some of our commissioners are participating in the hearing remotely and will remain on camera unless they have technical problems. If a commissioner appearing by video needs to turn off their camera, the chairperson will announce this at the earliest opportune time as required. We have divided the commissioners into panels for this meeting, similar to how appellate courts handle en banc cases. Panel members will be present to hear the comments for the cases they will be voting on. For anyone participating by video, if you experience connectivity issues during the meeting, we have found that turning your camera off may help you to see and hear those who are speaking and help us to hear you when you are speaking. If you wish to speak today, we ask that you please fill out a speaker card on the board's website under the tab called Board Meetings and the link called Meeting Agendas. We will also provide an opportunity for those who have not submitted a speaker card to make a comment today. You can find additional documents with helpful instructions and tips for participating in today's meeting on the board's website. Just go to the tab at the top of the board's website called the Board Meetings and select the link for Meeting Agendas. There is also a helpline available during the meeting. If you are experiencing difficulties, please call, here's the phone number, 916-445-4072. Again, that's 916-445-4072. The phone number is also on the first page of today's agenda and the agenda page of the board's website. If no one immediately answers your call, please leave a message. Someone will get back to you as quickly as possible. Most commissioners and board staff use computers to take notes during the meeting. So please do not be concerned if a commissioner is looking at their computer while someone is speaking. We ask that you please mute your computer microphone or phone during the meeting. If you do not mute yourself, a moderator will mute you to eliminate feedback and background noise. Your comments are very important to us. For this reason, comments may only be made after the moderator calls the speaker's name and identifies them by their login credentials. This way we can hear from everyone. We will call cases in the order they are listed on the agenda. Once a speaker is called upon, they will be able to unmute their microphone to make a comment. Please be respectful and refrain from engaging in disruptive behavior during the meeting, or you may be removed from the meeting. Please note that some speakers may include explicit crime details in their statements during this meeting. This could trigger strong reactions or be difficult to hear for some people and would not be appropriate for children to hear. If you would prefer not to listen to comments today, please consider submitting a written statement to the email address on the agenda. Written statements are considered the same as oral comments made during the meeting. Today, we will first take care of some administrative matters. We will then hear general public comments regarding the board, and then we will take comments on individual cases in the order the cases appear on the agenda. All comments today are limited to 2 minutes per speaker. We ask that you please be respectful of the time limits. We have a lot of cases in our agenda today and a lot of speakers anticipated. Also, if you timely submitted a written statement to the board, the commissioners will consider it. For this reason, you are encouraged to reference your written statement and use your time today to provide additional information as needed. Once the board has heard comments on each case on the agenda, the board will go into closed session to deliberate and vote on each case. Board staff will post the decisions for today's cases within 24 hours in the lobby at the board's main building here at 1515 K Street in Sacramento and on the board's website. For those of you who have not participated in the past, we actually post those results pretty consistently within a couple of hours after closed session has completed. So you can expect to see those early evening this evening. I will now turn the meeting over to Commissioner Muniz.
Thank you. Good morning. Today's date is October 14th, 2024, and the Board of Parole Hearings Executive Board meeting is now in session. I will now call the roll. Commissioner Chairperson present, myself. Commissioner Barton. Here. Commissioner Cassidy. Present. Commissioner Garland.
Present.
Commissioner Infante.
Present.
Commissioner Kozel.
Present.
Commissioner Long.
Present.
Commissioner Minor.
Here.
Commissioner Dudim.
Present.
Commissioner Wajay.
Present.
Commissioner O'Meara.
Present.
Commissioner Purcell.
Present.
Commissioner Ruff.
Present.
Commissioner Schneider.
Present.
Commissioner Sharif.
Present.
Commissioner Sheffield. Commissioner Tyra.
Present.
Commissioner Thornton.
Present.
Commissioner Weiss.
Here.
Please note the minutes that the majority of the commissioners currently appointed are present in person at 1515 K Street in Sacramento, California. We will now turn to the consent calendar. Items on the consent calendar are routine matters that require board approval. So we'll start here. Does any board member have any comments or clarifications regarding the September 2024 meeting minutes? Seeing and hearing none, The October backlog report is posted online on the board's website at the end of the consent calendar. Does any board member have any comments or clarifications regarding the backlog report? We have one case today with procedural errors to consider today. That would be Larry Dunn. CDCR number B is in Bravo 81995. Moderator, please open the line for those speaking in support of Larry Dunn. Comments are limited to 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in support of Larry Dunn and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you would like to speak in support of Larry Dunn, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who would like to speak in support of Larry Dunn? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers in support of Larry Dunn.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Larry Dunn.
Thank you, Chairperson. Again, I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in opposition of Larry Dunn and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you wish to speak in opposition of Larry Dunn, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition of Larry Dunn? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers for Larry Dunn.
Thank you. At this time, any member of the public may comment on the consent calendar, including the September minutes and the October backlog report. Comments are limited to 2 minutes. Please wait until we call on your name or identify you by your login information to speak. Moderator, are there any comments on the consent calendar?
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to make a comment on the consent calendar and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand in Microsoft Teams, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. To make a comment on the consent calendar by telephone, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who would like to make a comment on the consent calendar? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers on the consent calendar.
Thank you. Commissioners, is there a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar?
Commissioner Sharif would approve the consent calendar.
Cassidy will second.
Thank you. I'll now call the vote. Commissioner Barton? Commissioner Cassidy?
Aye.
Commissioner Garland?
Aye.
Commissioner Infante?
Aye.
Commissioner Kozel?
Aye.
Commissioner Long?
Aye.
Commissioner Minor?
Aye.
Commissioner Dudim?
Aye.
Commissioner Wajay?
Aye.
Commissioner O'Meara?
Aye.
Commissioner Purcell?
Aye.
Commissioner Ruff?
Same.
Commissioner Schneider?
Aye.
Commissioner Sharif?
Aye.
Commissioner Sheffield?
Aye.
Commissioner Tyra?
Aye.
Commissioner Thornton?
Aye.
Commissioner Weiss?
Yes.
Chairperson votes aye. Motion carries. We'll now hear a report from the executive officer, Ms. Schaefer.
Thank you, Commissioner. A couple of things. One is a significant change for panel attorneys and prosecutors. We have some IT limitations that have to do with scheduling of our hearings using Microsoft Teams. And so what you're going to start seeing very soon is that the meeting invitations that go out for the actual team meetings will no longer show email addresses for individual attendees. What has come to our attention is that those email addresses included victim and survivor email addresses who wanted to attend the hearings, and it is not appropriate for us to be displaying those email addresses to all parties who are attending parole hearings. So we are temporarily going to be, we have a fix for this. So the meeting invitations will be going out without the email addresses displayed. We've talked to panel attorneys, specifically Parole Justice Works and panel attorneys, as well as prosecutors representing the Lifer Committee for California District Attorneys Association. And the feedback we received is that nobody is happy with the idea of not knowing who the panel members are, because included in those meeting invitations were also email addresses for the commissioners and deputy commissioners who were assigned to that panel. So we hear you. We understand that that is something that we need to rectify. So we are working on a solution with our IT system that will allow us to send a separate email to everyone that will include things like who's on the panel, who's been assigned to a panel, the contact information for opposing counsel. So prosecutors and panel attorneys or private attorneys will know who is going to be attending that hearing so they can communicate in advance of the hearing. And that will be going out soon. So bear with us. It's going to be a few weeks where we're going to be in the dark for a little while. So to speak, people won't know who's going to be on the panel, but know that we will get an IT solution out soon that will provide prosecutors and panel attorneys and private counsel with an email that gives them that same information without the email addresses for victims and survivors and their family members who have signed up to attend the hearing. So apologize in advance for any inconvenience, but it's critical that we come into compliance with the law and no longer publish email addresses for victims and next of kin for the hearing participants. So that will go into effect. I have to look at Chief Counsel. Do you know when that will be going into effect? So that will begin in November 1st, and we will try to have the IT solution with the individual notices going out as quickly as possible thereafter. So stay tuned for that. We'll give you more information, and be on the lookout for emails, prosecutors and panel attorneys and private counsel. We will do an email blast to everyone with updates as they are available, so you don't have to wait for the next monthly executive board meeting. The other thing I'd like to provide is an outreach update. Since you last met in September, I attended the CSU Fresno and Agricultural Leadership Foundation's Criminal Justice Seminar. Along with me, some of our investigative staff attended, and Chief Counsel Jessica Blanian attended. This is a seminar on the criminal justice system for people who are engaged in or from the agricultural sector. And it's a really interesting opportunity to expose people who are not often exposed to our criminal justice system to the criminal justice system. So that was very helpful. It was held near San Quentin in late September. I also had the privilege of serving on a panel with the University of San Francisco Law School's Second Chance Summit on Resentencing, Rehabilitation, and Reentry. I participated on a panel with an elected district attorney, as well as a formerly incarcerated person who had been released through the board's parole hearing process, as well as a victim and survivor. It was a very interesting panel. Discussed a lot of things about reentry and the parole hearing process and the impact on our society in general. I also provided a presentation to the Berkeley High School pre-law class on the parole hearing process that went quite well. Some very eager young minds interested in the criminal justice system and post-conviction remedies. And that's it for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Schaefer. We will now hear a report from Chief Counsel Blonyan.
Good morning, everyone. I am delighted to announce that we have a new attorney joining the board's legal division. Greg Lang is joining us as an attorney one. He earned his BA in history, also a master's in education and Juris Doctorate, all from UC Davis. He has worked as an associate attorney in the healthcare practice group at the Sacramento office of Gordon Reese Scully and Mansakany. And he previously worked in the state service as an attorney for the Department of Rehabilitation. We are very happy to welcome Greg. Also, as a litigation update, litigation regarding application of credits is continuing. Oral argument was held last month in the In Re Win case in the Second District Court of Appeal. And the claims there are that there's an equal protection violation because credits do not apply to the youth parole eligible date, the same as the minimum eligible parole date. There is some crossover here with the CJLF case, which held that credits could not be applied under CDCR's regulations to the minimum eligible parole date. So we are curious to see how this comes out. We expect the opinion in the next 60 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blonyan. Now we'll hear a report from Chief Deputy of Investigations and Reentry Screening Division, Ryan Yahtzee.
Well, good morning, everybody. Two things to talk about this morning. First, we have some staffing updates for you. We have 3 peace officers that are retiring this upcoming month. Excuse me. First, Parole Agent 3 Supervisor Melody Smith is retiring in November after 30 years of service to the citizens of California. Melody's been with the board since 2015. She oversees the pardons and the EMP unit. She began her career at CDCR in 2007 as a parole agent in Oakland, and she promoted the board in 2015. And she's really contributed to the success of our pardons unit over the years, and she's worked in various other units within the board, but most recently working with the governor's office and a number of stakeholders toward the successful standardization and automation of the pardons unit. And so I'd like to thank Melody for her professionalism and excellence over the years. Secondly, PA2 specialist Laura Lamonaco is retiring next month as well after 17 years in CDCR, preceded by 14 years with Tulare County Probation. She's been with the board since 2019, and she's also worked in the pardons unit. She came most recently before that as a CC2 specialist from the institutions, and she worked the regulation and policy management branch and our classification services unit, and significant accomplishment of helping write Prop 57 regulations. So thank you, Laura, for your service to the state. Her retire plans are to travel lots, so we wish you the best, Laura. And then finally, Parole Agent 2 Specialist Maria Lopez is retiring officially December 1st after 26.5 years of state service. She's currently a PA2 specialist in our pre-parole unit. She began her peace officer career in Youth Authority back in 2000, most recently known as Division of Juvenile Justice, of course. She's worked as a parole agent in Chico, Oroville, Sierra, our Sac Metro area, and Delta GPS in Stockton. One of her most significant accomplishments was putting up with me as her office partner for many years. And she trained me, and she's an excellent agent, outstanding work in the field, and an asset to our pre-parole. And thank you, Maria, for your service to the state and being the best office mate. So again, thank you to Melody, Laura, and Maria for your excellent service to the citizens of California, and a special thanks for all of you have done to contribute to the success and excellence of the board. We wish you well. Secondly, I'd like to talk about a few outreach that IRSD has completed recently. On September 19th, I attended a Connect California Reentry Summit, sponsored by Attorney General Robert Bonta and attended by CDCR and CCHCS executives, the governor's office, numerous law enforcement agencies, non-governmental organizations, nonprofits, and various other stakeholders that are invested in the community reentry process. The summit was designed to bring reentry stakeholders together to form statewide partnerships with reentry-focused entities in order to better assist in the successful reintegration of formerly incarcerated individuals. There will be committees forming to address reentry issues statewide, such as behavioral health and employment needs, so more to come on this in the future. On September 27th, representatives from the board's legal team, our scheduling team, and our pre-parole team, they all attended the 2024 Palooza at the California Medical Facility. The board provided handouts on the current litigation impacting our MAPD, such as the CGLF, as well as answered many general questions about parole suitability, release dates, community programs, and a myriad of other issues. And there were many incarcerated persons at the event, and it was a great opportunity to share information and collaborate. And finally, on October 4th, most recently, PA3 Figueroa met with partners from Life Support Alliance RISE Group at CMF to share information regarding parole processes and reentry topics to incarcerated individuals dealing with parole and release prevention plans. A continued thanks to Figueroa and his team for their outreach efforts. That's all I had today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yahtzee. We'll now hear a report from Chief Psychologist, Dr. TYRONE.
Good morning. Last month, Ms. Jennifer Schaefer and I were honored to provide a presentation to the incarcerated population as part of San Quentin's Mental Health Awareness Week. We reiterated to the attendees that seeking mental health care, both in custody and while in the community, is viewed positively by the board, and encouraged the audience members to attend to their mental health needs. After the presentation, we were given a tour of San Quentin by Lieutenant Barry and had the opportunity to meet many individuals who have been working diligently to rehabilitate themselves. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. TYRONE. Does any board member wish to request an agenda item for a future meeting? Now we will hear comments from the public regarding general matters related to the board. We're not taking comments on cases right now. Comments concerning future parole hearings are not permitted during this meeting. Please send those comments to the board for inclusion in the materials for that hearing. Comments are limited to 2 minutes, and there is no opportunity for rebuttal. Please wait to speak until we call on your name or identify you by your login information. Moderator, is there anyone seeking to make a general comment related to the board?
Yes, thank you, Chairperson. We do have a speaker card for Vanessa Nelson Sloan. Ms. Sloan, if you're in person, please approach the podium.
Thank you. Increasingly, we're hearing from lifers on parole that they're having a difficult time finding affordable and available housing after the first 6 months in transitional facilities. Most have only been employed for a matter of months, have no rental history or credit score to speak of. All factors potential landlords want to check before renting apartments or houses. Theoretically, they could ask to extend their transitional stay for another 3 to 6 months, but the reality is that such requests are often denied by the parole office due to the need for beds for new parolees. This means that those making the request are left to figure it out for themselves, often renting a room from a friend or a stranger just to have a roof over their head, or in some cases becoming transient. This is a very stressful situation, and even if they find a room to rent, conditions may not be optimal for successful reentry. And when that individual is up for review, discharge review at the end of 12 months, they're often denied that discharge due to, quote, unstable housing, since they've only been 6 months in one location. This makes no sense. It's demoralizing and cheats the parolees out of the legislative promise of real consideration for discharge after 12 months with compliance with conditions. In many cases, the reason they can't qualify to rent another facility or another home is that they are on parole. So retaining them on parole only compounds that restriction. We would like to suggest that a partial mitigation to this dilemma would be for the board, in the conditions of parole, to articulate that the individual paroling will be allowed up to 12 months in transitional housing. We do recognize that the final decision rests with the DAPO agents, but having that provision clearly spelled out in the board set conditions of parole would, we think, give the parolees' request more weight when they need that extra time and support. Thank you.
Thank you. If you would like to make a general comment and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand in Microsoft Teams and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. To make a general comment by telephone, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who would like to make a general comment? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers for general comments.
Thank you. I will now call roll for the commissioners participating in public comment, deliberations, and voting on cases on today's agenda. Chairperson is present. Commissioner Cassidy.
Here.
Commissioner Garland.
Here.
Commissioner Long.
Present.
Commissioner Minor.
Here.
Commissioner Dudeem.
Here.
Commissioner O'Meara.
Here.
Commissioner Ruff.
Here.
Commissioner Schneider.
Present.
Commissioner Sharif. Commissioner Sheffield.
Present.
Commissioner Weiss.
Here.
Commissioner, can you please note for the record that Commissioner Barton has joined us.
Commissioner Barton, welcome. Please note.
Here the whole time, I just had my mute button was not working earlier on the vote.
Fair enough. Please note for the minutes that a majority of the commissioners currently appointed are present in person, and we will now hear comments regarding cases on today's agenda. For each case, first, we'll take comments for those in support of the incarcerated person, starting with speaker cards, and then those who did not submit speaker cards. Then we will take comments from those in opposition to the incarcerated person, starting with speaker cards, and then calling those who did not submit speaker cards. Comments are limited to 2 minutes. There is no opportunity for rebuttal. If you are speaking, please eliminate any background noise. The moderator will call your name or identify you by your phone number when it is your turn. Your 2 minutes will begin when you start to speak. The first case today is ULRICH MEJIA, CDCR number F as in Frank 05271, item number 12. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in support of ULRICH MEJIA and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you would like to speak in support of ULRICH MEJIA, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who wants to speak in support of ULRICH MEJIA? Chairperson, is there someone approaching the podium? Oh, okay. Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers in support of ULRICH MEJIA.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to ULRICH MEJIA.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in opposition of ULRICH MEJIA and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you want to speak in opposition of ULRICH MEJIA, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition of ULRICH MEJIA. Is there anyone who would like to speak about ULRICH MEJIA? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers for ULRICH MEJIA.
Thank you. The next case is SHUMONTE White, CDCR number B as in Bravo, A as in Alpha, 3287, item number 13. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in support of SHUMONTE White and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you want to speak in support of SHUMONTE White, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who wants to speak in support of SHUMONTE White? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers in support of SHUMONTE White.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to SHUMONTE White.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in opposition of SHUMONTE White and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call upon you when it is your turn to speak. If you're on the phone and you want to speak in opposition of SHUMONTE White, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of SHUMONTE White? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers for SHUMONTE White.
Thank you. The next case is Pablo Adame, CDC number A as in Alpha, L as in Lima, 8343, item number 14. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in support of Pablo Adame and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you want to speak in support of Pablo Adame, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Pablo Adame? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers in support of Pablo Adame.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Pablo Adame.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in opposition of Pablo Adame and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you're on the phone and you wish to speak in opposition of Pablo Adame, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition of Pablo Adame? Is there anyone who has not spoken who would like to speak about Pablo Adame? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers for Pablo Adame.
The next case is RUBEN CRUZ, CDCR number T as in Tango 91761, item number 15. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in support of RUBEN CRUZ and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you're on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you're on the phone and you want to speak in support of RUBEN CRUZ, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who wants to speak in support of RUBEN CRUZ? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers in support of RUBEN CRUZ.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to RUBEN CRUZ.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in opposition of RUBEN CRUZ and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you're on the phone and you want to speak in opposition of Ruben CRUZ, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition of Ruben CRUZ? Is there anyone who would like to speak about Ruben CRUZ? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers for Ruben CRUZ.
The next case is Jason HARSIN, CDCR number B as in Bravo, C as in Charlie, 6979, item number 16. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards for support. If you would like to speak in support of Jason HARSIN and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you're on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you're on the phone and you want to speak in support of Jason HARSIN, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who wants to speak in support of Jason HARSIN? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers in support of Jason HARSIN.
Moderator, I'm going to interject real quick. We have 2 potential speakers here in the room, and but not for any of the other cases. So you could probably bypass requesting in-person speakers. It might move things along a little more quickly and let you take it away from there. But you'll see on the speaker list that there is somebody here for in-person, and we'll let you know if that changes, okay?
Thank you so much. I will do.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Jason HARSIN.
Thank you, Chairperson. I do have 1 speaker card. We have Shirley Bates. Shirley Bates, if you're with us, you can approach the podium. Sorry, not approach the podium. You can unmute yourself by pressing *6 if joining us by telephone, or you can unmute your microphone. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Thank you. Jason was convicted of 2nd-degree murder and sentenced to life. I was told he had to serve a mandatory of 15 years. He was given 2 years time served. Jason HARSIN would not be eligible for a hearing to grant or deny parole until 2029. There are many issues that I am concerned about if you grant him parole. Family gatherings where drinking is openly available, holidays, birthdays, parties again where alcohol, drugs could be openly available. Normal life, everyday stress such as job, housing, money, bills, child support, relationships, family, death, or illness, any of these could trigger Jason's addictions. On October 24th, 2014, Jason partied with his family and drank beyond legal limit. Jason then made the decision to take back roads to avoid being caught. Unfortunately, he murdered my husband. Jason has multiple DUIs, driving on a suspended license, assault with a deadly weapon, anger, and addiction issues. It's clear that Jason has not been able to control his addictions. On behalf of my entire family, we ask that you do not grant Jason HARSIN parole at this time. Our family has forever lost our beloved family member. Our family has been sentenced to life without Richard Bates. There is no second chance for Richard or our family to experience new memories. With all due respect, Jason was well aware and knew the risk of drinking and driving, but did not care. Jason has not learned from his past incidents. This was no accident. Thank you for your time and attention in this matter. Respectfully, Shirley Bates, widow.
Thank you. We have another speaker card for Robin Reager or Reger. Robin, if you're with, and that has disappeared, excuse me.
I'm Shirley's advocate. I'm just here as a support person.
Okay, you did not wish to speak?
No.
Okay, thank you. If you would like to speak in opposition of Jason HARSIN and are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you would like to speak in opposition of Jason HARSIN, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who would like to speak in opposition of Jason HARSIN? Is there anyone who has not spoken who would like to speak about Jason HARSIN? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers for Jason HARSIN.
The next case is Daniel HAVARD. CDCR number G is in golf 39202, item number 17. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in support of Daniel HAVARD and are in person, please step toward. We don't need to do the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call upon you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you would like to speak in support of Daniel HAVARD, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who would like to speak in support of Daniel HAVARD?
Oh,
yes.
Tashana Rogers.
Go ahead, ma'am. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Okay, yes, hi. My name is Tashana Rogers. Good rising to everyone. Daniel HAVARD is my big brother, and I am calling in versus writing to say how much or what I would be able to do for support of my brother. I have talked to him several times and messaging him through the system that you guys have for them that's incarcerated. I can say that Daniel would be a great asset if granted parole, because he has shown remorse as well as a transparency in regards to his crime that he committed. Me being as a female, it hurts to hear him speak on what he had, to speak on what he had done. But with his rehabilitation, while he's been incarcerated and taking it upon himself to take action as far as getting his certificate to be able to help others that has been in his position and in his shoes, willing to help them, a willingness to continue to try to get his education with his associate's degree in psychology, because mentally as a young person, depending on your surroundings, you do things that you shouldn't do, and at that time don't care until you, I guess, are sat down like he has been to think about the crime that was committed and to feel the pain and the hurt of the family that he has done wrong.
Your 2 minutes has elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Yes. So I just am calling in support in regards to what I've seen and heard with his transition.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there
Thank
anyone
you.
else who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Daniel HAVARD? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers in support of Daniel HAVARD.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Daniel HAVARD.
Thank you. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in opposition of Daniel HAVARD and are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you're on the phone and you want to speak in opposition of Daniel HAVARD, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who is not? I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Unmuted. This is James Hollingsworth.
Go ahead.
Okay. I assume all of the commissioners have gotten the written statement.
Our chairperson is nodding his head. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. then you know what happened. You know that it was a pretty brutal crime. I have sat in a number of hearings for Mr. HAVARD, the last of which was about 3 years ago, and I did not participate in the last one. In that one, he tried to minimize his participation in what was happening. And through comments he made and recognizing his voice after a long time, however, I'll never forget it, basically he had lied because he told me when he went downstairs what he was going to do to my wife. When I have listened to him in all of the hearings, what I hear is him repeating back the phrases that he has learned in the classes that he's taken. I don't see, I can't, he has to internalize it, and I certainly haven't seen it to this point in time. We definitely are against Mr. HAVARD being paroled at this time. Two comments in general. The Office of Victim and Survivor Rights within CDCR has really done a very good job of keeping us advised and
your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
And offering support. This whole process has been going on for 20-something years. It's exceptionally stressful, and it's very difficult for victims of violent crime. I'm finished.
Thank you. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of Daniel HAVARD? Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak about Daniel HAVARD? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers for Daniel HAVARD.
The next case is RAUL HIGGINS, CDCR number P as in Papa 29949, item number 18. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you. We have a number of speaker cards for support and for opposition. The first speaker card we have is for Brian King. Brian, if you're with us by telephone, please unmute yourself by pressing *6. If you're with us by video, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Brian King, and I work in the education building at San Quentin. And I wanted to speak out in favor of RAUL HIGGINS. I serve with RAUL in a number of different ministry opportunities here at the site, and he has been a great asset to our team. I've always deeply appreciated the way he handles people, the way he handles them with compassion and his caring, the way he serves his community. RAUL has been 24 years right up free, which is a big deal here. He is a certified addiction counselor. He graduated from the Last Mile, and he's now a software engineer. He has widespread support amongst many people here, both in custody and free staff, volunteers. And I know he's got a great plan in place, accepted to the Veterans Transition Center in Marina, California. So I wholeheartedly endorse his release and feel that he has been rehabilitated, and he will be a great asset to whatever community he lands in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next speaker card we have is for Diana Fitzpatrick. Diana, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Diana Fitzpatrick, and I'm here in support of Mr. RAUL HIGGINS, who I know through my volunteer work at San Quentin. I'm a lawyer admitted to the bar in New York and California. I worked for 18 years at Nolo Press, and prior to that, I worked at the city attorney's office in San Francisco. I'm a longtime runner, coach, and have been volunteering at San Quentin since 2009. Mr. Higgins became a regular and active member of the 1,000-mile running club, even though he was never able to run much due to an injury. He was an elite middle distance runner in the 90s and brought his experience and knowledge about the sport to the club as a volunteer. He showed up regularly and made a point of getting to know and help the coaches, and he also acted as a mentor to other runners. It's my understanding that Mr. Higgins plans to parole to the VA facility in Monterey. We've heard from other club members that this facility offers excellent support and guidance, something I could see Mr. Higgins taking full advantage of. He's clearly intelligent and capable, and he's also motivated and eager to use the skills and learning he has obtained during his over 20 years of incarceration. He's a licensed alcohol and drug counselor and has talked about looking forward to being able to work someday in that capacity. I don't know what Mr. Higgins was like when he entered prison, but I see in him now someone who has worked hard to rehabilitate himself, including many years of sobriety. He's clearly lived with the consequences of his actions that led to his incarceration. I have continued to work with former San Quentin Running Club members who have been released from prison. I'd be there to help support Mr. Higgins on his reentry into society. He has earned my respect and trust, and that support will continue if he is released. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker card we have is for Jim Maloney. I see you have a hand raised. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me. My name is Jim Maloney. I too am a volunteer with the 1,000-mile running club and have worked with RAUL for many years. I'm here to in support of his efforts for parole. RAUL and I became acquainted through the 1,000-mile running club, where I started in 2016 as a volunteer. I've recently taken a leadership role in the club along with Diana and Tim Fitzpatrick. You just saw Diana. I had a 25-year career in international trade and logistics prior to coming to San Quentin. I've also facilitated a victim offender education group at San Quentin since October of 2018. The purpose of this particular program, it's a restorative justice program, is to support people who are incarcerated to understand and shift their harmful and destructive behavioral patterns and take responsibility for the impact of their crimes on their victims, their communities, their families, and themselves. Accountability and personal responsibility are key aspects of the program. My experience at RAUL is that he is remarkably warm and friendly and enthusiastic. He consistently shows up for our workouts and races, even when he is unable to run. And as Diana said, that has been for quite some time. But he still supports us volunteers and runners and all of our races and workouts. His presence, whether he is running with us in the workouts and races or as a volunteer lap counter and cheerleader, is always welcome and appreciated, and especially given the positive attitude he exudes. I've been able to get to know RAUL on a personal level and have witnessed him through good times and tough times. He has discussed with me openly the harms he has caused in the past, the deep remorse he feels, insights he has gained from the work that he has done on himself.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
I've witnessed RAUL's strong commitment to his rehabilitation, and I support him without hesitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next speaker card we have is for Courtney Rain. Courtney, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute. Oh, okay, go ahead. Courtney Rain, are you with us? If you're speaking, we cannot hear you. If you're joining us by...
Yes, so apologies, I apologize. Good afternoon, my name is Courtney Ryan. I'm the lead facilitator with the Beat Within at San Quentin. I met RAUL back in 2018, and he's been a really generous participant in our writing workshops. ever since then. He shares stories in the group, and he's also somebody who publishes widely in our bi-monthly magazine. And I just wanted to name what others have said too, that he's been an incredibly vital role in fostering just this honest, warm dynamic in our group. And I would say our group is actually like measurably improved by the way he shares his humility, his patience, and his leadership. And I've seen Raul practice the skills that he'll need on the outside. He's very honest about his past challenges, whether that's with addiction, whether that's with impulsive thinking, or about a lack of self-esteem. And I think what I've just been sort of moved by is how openly he shares those struggles and how he's moved with them with our other group members. When he hears other people sharing their stories, he's often the first to be moved to tears, the first to laugh. He's got a kind of emotional leadership that's been invaluable. And I think it's this honesty and this ability to like share what he's been through and what he needs with others that gives me really confidence, a lot of confidence in his transition. And I do want to share that we lost our founder of the Beat Within last July, and David Inocencio. And in the midst of a lot of chaos and a lot of loss, it was Raul who really stepped up to help hold the center of the group. He was the one who took responsibility for writing David Inocencio's obituary for the San Quentin News, which meant, you know, talking to lots of people, pulling together a lot of stories and memories. And, you know, a lot of us were pretty lost. I'll say I was also lost in my grief, and Raul really helped us kind of continue David's work and encouraged us. So I'm confident. I'm confident in his stability. I'm confident in his success on the outside. And I'm one of several members of the Beat Within community who are really eager, ready to welcome him, to support him in his sobriety, to offer financial support, to be a source of paid and volunteer work, and just to be ready with our continued
Your 2 minutes
care and
have
friendship.
elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Yeah, just really excited to help him be part of his transition. Thanks so much.
Thank you. The next speaker card I have is for Jonathan Chu. Jonathan, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself, or press *6 to unmute yourself by telephone.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I am here in support for Mr. Raul Higgins. I've known Mr. Higgins for close to 10 years now. I was with him at San Quentin Prison, and along with him in the 1,000 Mile Club. I want to say he's been a very big part of my life. He helped me when I was getting ready to go before the board, and yeah, like everybody else said, he's been an incredible person behind. I have no doubt that he'll be successful, and I'm here to say I will be assisting him in his reentry back in society. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll move on to those who did not submit a speaker card. If you would like to speak in support of Raul Higgins and are in person, please step towards the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I will call upon you when it is your turn to speak. I see we have several hands raised. I've been given a note that Mike Cligg, are you in support or opposition?
I'm in opposition.
Perfect. Thank you. You'll have your opportunity momentarily. The first hand we have is for Mike Gardner. Mike Gardner, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mick Gardner, and I'm the executive director of No More Tears at San Quentin Prison. I've been working with Mr. Higgins during the time that he was a graduate of No More Tears, and also the mere fact that he is a veteran as well as myself. So I have that connection to him as us both being veterans. No More Tears will support Mr. Higgins upon his release, if that is granted. And we anticipate that, you know, we'll help him with different needs, including clothing, support. We have a regular weekly formerly incarcerated support group that meets on a regular every Wednesday evening. We also have a restorative practice talking and healing circle that meets every other Thursday that he can connect to us, because if everything goes to fruition, he'll be in Monterey, but at least he'll still be able to connect to us by Zoom. So we really hope and anticipate your decision goes towards Mr. Higgins and his return to the community, where again, No More Tears will exclusively embrace him and support him through his transition and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next hand we have up is for Rebecca Ravkin. Rebecca, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good day. My name is Rebecca Rabkin, and I'm counsel for Mr. Higgins. The only concern expressed by the governor is whether Mr. Higgins' parole plans, relapse prevention plans, and social supports are adequate to support his safe release. The answer is unequivocally yes. Mr. Higgins' parole plans include transitional housing at the Veterans Center in Monterey and participation in the DRP's long-term reentry recovery program, which provides wraparound services and programming. He will have access to medical and mental health treatment through the Department of Veterans Affairs and has already made contact with a licensed clinical social worker there. He has marketable skills in computer coding and drug and alcohol counseling. Mr. Higgins has relapse prevention plans in all areas of potential risk, including domestic violence, substance abuse, toxic relationships, anxiety awareness, and BPD maintenance. His substance use disorders are in remission. He has remained free from disciplinary infractions for over 2 decades. He is meaningfully engaged in targeted programming and in individual and group therapy, which he plans to continue in the community. He has the support of community groups, including The Last Mile, ARC, Defy Ventures, Love Does, the Asian Prisoner Support Committee, No More Tears, and others. He has stable and pro-social family support. And he has the support of numerous friends, volunteers, and formerly incarcerated peers who have successfully integrated into the community and will act as accountability partners. Mr. Higgins received a low-risk rating on his last 2 psychological evaluations, in part because of his robust parole and relapse prevention plans. In the panel's decision granting parole, it found his relapse prevention plans, coping skills, internalized programming, and release plans to be mitigating factors. All of the evidence suggests that Mr. Higgins' parole and relapse prevention plans and social supports are more than adequate to support his safe release. The governor's concerns were carefully considered by the granting panel, and there is no reason to disturb this well-reasoned
Your 2 minutes
decision.
have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Thank you very much. I'm finished.
Thank you. If you would like to speak in support of Raul Higgins and are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you want to speak in support of Raul Higgins, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who would like to speak in support of Raul Higgins? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers in support of Raul Higgins.
Moderator, I think I see a visual hand raised, and hopefully we can address that hand that's raised there.
Absolutely.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. Good afternoon, members of the Executive Board. I am the sister of Raul Higgins, Socorro Hernandez Heineck, a retired university professor after 20 years. I appear here to speak in support of my brother Raul. Upon his release, rest assured that I will be supporting him in achieving his educational and vocational goals, as well as any personal housing and financial needs. His journey of rehabilitation and counseling has provided a plethora of vital coping skills. I believe that his work in alcohol and drug abuse counseling have also played a key role in his own rehabilitation through insight and engagement practices. Over these many years, I've observed Raul's transformation from a state of despondency to today. Today, he's a whole, introspective, hopeful, and confident man. This is the man he always hoped and prayed he would be. Kind, intelligent, considerate, generous of spirit, time, and love. The network of supportive entities such as Last Mile, Defy, Love Does, the Berkeley Journalism Project, veterans groups, and countless ministry groups have and will continue to play important roles upon his release. They address the emotional, vocational, and spiritual realms, lending support during his transition and thereafter. Having turned his attention to journalism and computer coding upon his release, Raul has the potential to build a valuable platform for youth offenders via rescue and rehabilitation, guidance, prevention through journalism. In a world where isolation and strife plague inner-city youth offenders, the KitKat program was such a vehicle.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
In closing, I believe that whatever goals he sets, there's no doubt in my heart and mind that Raul has emerged transformed. Thank you very much. His sister. I have his mother here as well.
Oh, yes, go ahead. Her 2 minutes starts when she begins to speak.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Magdalena Higgins, mother of Raul Higgins. I am 94 years of age. In support of my son, I can support him, I can tell you, if I could be even closer to him and can remind him of how he has been most of his life, truthful, honest, lovable, kind to his brothers and sisters, of course, myself, his mother, a home of everyday life, supportive to all of us. Upon his release, Raul's plans for moving forward do include a supportive network to help him re-enter society as an acceptable and God-fearing man, and into a world that will welcome him by saying accepted, into a new clean way of life awaiting to renew his own life. I pray that the board will accept and approve my repentant son's reasons for parole. I believe Raul, my hopeful son, has been waiting for an opportunity to walk a new, clean life along with Jesus Christ. Raul has studied journalism and published his work, including in the San Quentin News. At one time, he nearly became an ordained pastor while incarcerated. He still has the potential to pursue work in the field of ministry and or counseling. He needs, thank you, hopeful and religious.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who would like to speak in support of Raul Higgins?
Yes, I have a telephone call, please.
Go ahead. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Thank you. My name is Gerald Peterson. I am Raul's brother-in-law. I'm also a former homicide detective in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. I have only seen Raul twice during visits to San Quentin, but I have spoken to him sometimes daily, but mostly weekly on the telephone. And I have personally, over the last 20 years, detected a major change in his personality. I would like to thank the state of California because the man that I know now is someone who appears to be very honorable, and I appreciate him. And I am in total support of his parole, and we will do anything to assist him throughout the rest of his life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who would like to speak in support of Raul Higgins?
Hi, this is Jenny Nestler. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. Thank you. I'm here in support of Raul Higgins, who's a veteran, and I've had the pleasure of knowing him for the past 3 years. Raul has been a wonderful support system for his fellow veterans at San Quentin, where he actively participates and facilitates multiple groups. His dedication to self-improvement and the well-being of others has been evident in his serious work that he has done on himself during his time inside. Raul has been accepted into the VTC, the LTOR program here in Marina, California, and we're thrilled to welcome him into our program. At VTC, we offer wraparound services, including transitional housing, mental health, substance use counseling, job training, education, and all parole mandated classes. Raul's commitment to his growth and his fellow veterans makes him an excellent fit for our community, and we're confident that he will continue to be a positive influence on others as he transitions back into society. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I see we have a hand raised for Collins. Go ahead, your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak. Collins, you're still showing as muted. You can unmute yourself with the microphone icon up by the red button on the right-hand side.
Thank you. So my name is Floyd Collins, and I am formerly incarcerated. I met Raul Higgins 5 years ago at San Quentin. He was an OMCP mentor while I was an ISUDT mentor. Raul has been an influence in my life in a positive way. When I came into San Quentin, I was lost, and Raul helped guide me through it. He led me with mentoring within that program, and he also showed me a lot about empathy and also taking a further sense of personal accountability and responsibility. I believe that Raul has every tool that is needed to succeed outside of incarceration. I'm also willing to support him in the best way that I can, in any way possible, whether it be financial, also with emotional and mental support, and just having an accountability partner. Raul has accomplished a lot while in prison. I'm not going to highlight that, but I do believe that he has the insight and has the knowledge to understand what he did, why he did it, and how he changed, and how that change is applied today within his living amends and his service to others. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak, and I appreciate the commissioners in making a decision. And I just want to again say that I support Raul in his transition back into society. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Raul Higgins?
He was watching.
Chairperson, I believe there are no more. Oh, I'm sorry. We have one more. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, my name is Aaron Martin, and I've known Raul for 25 years, and I've seen him accomplish a lot. I mean, what more could be said than what his mother said? But I am a board member for a longstanding group in San Quentin for No More Tears, and we are ready and willing to support Raul upon his release and help him with clothing, rides to transitional houses, to his transitional house, to his appointments, to give him clothing, help him with his Social Security, his identification, California ID, driver's license, and helping him to fill out all the required paperwork. And we believe that he should be given a chance to prove himself out in society, and his accomplishments are really unprecedented. And I personally know that he has great remorse for his victims, and that he really gets it, and he's accountable, and he's remorseful for his actions. But one thing for success, I believe, is to have a good support system, and Raul has that in abundance, and so we will not allow him to fail. He will have all the resources at his disposal to help him succeed. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who would like to speak in support of Raul Higgins? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers in support of Raul Higgins.
Moderator, we'll now take speakers in opposition to Raul Higgins.
Thank you. We do have a number of speaker cards. The first is for Diane Welsh. Diane, I can see that you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Hello, I'm a professor at Shasta College in psychology, and I've also been a counselor for many years. The primary duty of any government official, whether elected or appointed, is to protect the public. We've been told for years that Raul Higgins is a model prisoner. Well, of course he is. There are no women in prison for him to prey upon, just as there are no banks for thieves to rob. Introduce the same temptations and the crime will resurface. Prisoners adapt to their surroundings, and here in prison, the lack of opportunity limits criminal behavior. Raul Higgins has a lifelong pattern of physically and mentally abusing women. There were many restraining orders on Raul Higgins in our town of Redding. He choked another woman almost to death in San Antonio, Texas, well before meeting Carolyn. Carolyn and I extensively discussed this. Mr. Higgins continues to be a danger to his target population, women. He has a well-established pattern of behavior not only around drugs and alcohol, but also domestic violence. The most egregious words Raul spoke at one of the many parole hearings, which is a showing of his mind, is, quote, "I just wanted her to die," end quote. He strangled Carolyn with 2 hands to the point that she went unconscious. He could have let her go. He had done that in the past to the woman in San Antonio, but he did not. He just wanted her to die. Many offenders once released fall back into old patterns. Raul is a serial predator and a murderer. He may not have committed crimes behind bars, but nothing suggests he won't reoffend if released. The only thing stopping him now is the absence of women, not a change in his nature. Reintroducing him into society, where relationships and interactions with women are unavoidable, sharply increases the risk of further violence.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Your duty to protect the public, a responsibility you are sworn to uphold. In Raul's case, keeping him in prison is the only way to ensure the safety of women and the public. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. The next speaker is Sten Carlson. Sten, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself, *6 by telephone or the mute button on Teams.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. The Bolger siblings are here today because they love their mother beyond words, and unfortunately, she is not able to speak today. That's the problem with the process. The person who is most impacted by the offender's crime has no input. We, as victims, take on this unplanned responsibility. We become minor details in a system now preoccupied with returning the offender to society. I've had the sad responsibility of participating in this process for 50 years now, and I've seen it evolve over time. When offenders are sentenced, victims believe there is accountability driving the process. The Bolger children expected the man who mercilessly killed their mother would spend more time than 25 years redeeming himself for his behavior and the crime that he chose to commit. Yet we hear nothing of the impact that the loss of Carolyn Bolger has had on our family. The sadness and trauma each member has experienced is now secondary to the rehabilitation of the criminal, and destroying a family is not a crime, even though it has layers of consequences unspoken here today. What victims are not told is that after a sentence is imposed, they are now part of a process that requires them to participate if they are to honor their loved one's memory. Participation is painful. Resources are showered on the criminal while family members have to find their own way forward. A sentence imposed by a jury of Mr. Higgins' peers is now subrogated to the opinions of the board. In the end, nothing is resolved because there is no consistency in the consequences of killers' actions. While Mr. Higgins may not require a lifetime behind bars, what is the appropriate time to spend? A crime with real-life consequences becomes a theoretical study in human behavior, an intellectual and abstract event detached from the hideous reality that victims have to live with on a daily basis. 25 years is insufficient to effect the required behavioral change. The Bolger family is not seeking revenge. They are seeking accountability. Please do the right thing on behalf of this family and ensure Mr. Higgins continues the required work to ensure he will never commit a crime like this again.
Thank you. The next speaker card we have is for Melissa Bolger. Melissa, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
In 2012, 12 years ago, was our first parole hearing. Little did we know that we would be dragged through this criminal system with 6 parole hearings and little regard to my family. I am the daughter of Carolyn, who was brutally murdered, and all of his supporters ignore his disgusting and heinous crime. Higgins has a sentence of 15 years to life. We counted on this criminal system for justice and to keep him in for life, for the life sentence that he gave us. My mother's family and friends never thought that such a heinous crime would warrant freedom years later. I was ignorant to think our criminal system would protect my family and its citizens. We, the people, absolutely do not accept releasing a prisoner with the magnitude of his crime. I do not doubt that his rehabilitation has helped him cope with his incarceration and helped promote a better working environment for all. But what about our environment? What about our peace of mind? Pushing criminals out the door because of age is an insult to me and my siblings, and it is another form of trauma to us, to my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents. This attack on our family, this everlasting scar, is now carried down through generations. Releasing this killer is dangerous to women in our society, women who are repeatedly abused by the silent killer of domestic violence. Does our criminal system not care about the protection of mothers and sisters? Does our criminal system not care about my brothers who are deeply affected by this? One of them, my brother Joe, who found my mother on the floor, face down. To one day see my mom so happy with all of her children, celebrating my sister and my brother's birthday just 3 days before her murder, and then to see her embalmed in a casket at 21 years of age.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Will forever be imprinted in my mind and will forever haunt me, because she never deserved to be deliberately abused and strangled to death by this inmate you are about to release. We, the people, my family, will continue to fight for justice. I am a mother myself. I have a son who I have to be there for, and this hurts. This is like a knife being stabbed over and over into my heart. Please find some empathy in your hearts to deny Raul Higgins release into society. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker card we have is for Tim Bolger. Tim, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute or press *6 by telephone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
My name is Tim Bolger, eldest son of the victim. I have lived more years on this earth than my beautiful mother due to the heinous act perpetrated upon her by this inmate. We have attended many parole hearings fighting in honor of her memory and often feel like it falls on deaf ears. We have brought forth countless facts regarding suitability based on testimony from this inmate himself. He has had over 20 years to focus on why and the how, as well as programming specifically geared to his domestic violence issues. Yet time and time again, it has been minimal at best. On September 28th, this inmate was denied parole and given an additional 3 years in San Quentin. The words from the commissioner were as follows: the parole board finds Mr. Higgins still poses an unreasonable risk to public safety. A key aspect of his parole denial was his inability to understand the viciousness of the crime and that the prisoner has lack of insight, which is a predicator of poor outcomes. The commissioner's own words: we still do not know why the prisoner has not addressed this, and it was difficult to imagine a more brutal crime. Now, fast forward only 18 months and he's granted an early parole hearing and is granted parole. I ask you, a smart and intellectual group of humans up there in front of us right now today, do you really think much has changed in insight, in his programming, in his remorse in such a short time? How can this be? This inmate has been incarcerated since 1998 and never once made a conscious effort in addressing his life crime until 2022. Instead, he is focused on becoming a Braille transcriber and a drug counselor, which seems to me that he has had a lot of wasted, countless years of growth and understanding. And are we really okay with a convicted murderer of a mother and abuser of women guiding and counseling women and men at a time when they are most vulnerable, at a time when they can be so easily manipulated? In concluding, this inmate has a very problematic employment options that are at best minimally thought through.
Your
Please-
2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Please protect my family and our communities. I ask you in my mother's memory that you deny parole for the maximum number of years to ensure that this inmate has a more clearer picture on why he murdered my mother, and to ensure he puts the most amount of time into his programming so that another woman, another mother, another mother,
Your
another
time
sister,
has elapsed. We'll ask
daughter
that you conclude your statement.
again.
Thank you. The next speaker card we have is for Joe Bulger. Joe, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone.
I strongly disagree with paroling this inmate. I do believe in forgiveness, and I think if our mother died in a less heinous way, I would be able to forgive the inmate for his crime at this point. The fact of the matter, which is well documented, is that he left her to die while she was alone, gasping for air. He could have saved her, but chose to end her life. He chose to end her life because he is a sociopath, and there are no places for sociopaths in our society. The inmate is a prime example of why prisons were built and where people like him, excuse me, should reside for life. For this reason alone, I ask you to keep the inmate in jail where he cannot kill again. Should you decide to release him, I wish him a horrible life along with a suffering death alone, just like our poor mother had. May he rot in pieces.
Thank you. The next speaker card I have is for Megan Bulger. Megan Bulger, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I am here in support of keeping the prisoner Raul Higgins behind bars and to emphasize what my siblings have already said. My mother was murdered by Raul Higgins as a young woman while the sole provider for her children. I was 7 years old then. As a young woman myself now, I have learned that this theme of violence against women is an all too familiar story in our society. My family has fought for the past decade by attending parole meetings to help keep her killer behind bars, and at this point, we are almost on first-name basis with this Board of Commissioners. I'm curious how many people in this room who show support for release have had someone they love violently ripped from their lives because of someone else's choices. If you have never had this happen, then you truly do not understand the loss we are forced to suffer with every day. As heartfelt as it was to hear Raul's mother, I am reminded of the devastation that he has ripped me and my family of my own mother. The reason we fight this fight is much bigger than my mother's story. It's in her memory, but also for all the family members who eternally suffer without their loved ones. We do this for the countless victims who are silenced by their killers because their innocent lives should not be in vain. I ask of you, the leaders and representatives of justice, that for the greater good of society, you set an example that crimes against innocent women are unacceptable, and that our judicial system is here to protect and support us, the innocent. I ask for justice for my mother's innocent life that was taken, and to please keep this man in jail. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker card I have is for Stephen Bulger, or Bulger. Go ahead.
I'm here. First off, I'd like to draw to the board's attention that when this man committed this crime, he had a support system. My mother was his support system. The church was his support system. He was rehabilitated and was trying to lead a good life at that point. And look at what happened. For us, the release of this man from prison would be devastating and is an offense to both our feelings of injustice and justice for my mother. With the decision to release, it sends a message to us that our voices don't matter and the devastation of our lives by this man is acceptable because he has done programming and spent what is deemed adequate times behind bars to justify his release. This is an affront to us, to our mother, and to women everywhere. I would urge you to ask yourselves, is this the world I want to live in? Is this the world I want my children to live in? One in which an admitted murderer of a mother of 5 who strangled a woman to death in cold blood can walk freely amongst us? Is this not part of the reason prisons exist, to keep the people like this away from the public? You have the power today to make your message clear. Please stand up for us. Please help us. Please tell the world that what this man did was unacceptable, and do what our mother is unable to do and defend us and our mental health from another devastation. When I reflect on the hearings over the years, what strikes me repeatedly is the last parole hearing when this man admitted that he felt no remorse for his actions until 15 years after his offense. And to draw a correlation to the fact that this was only after parole was denied for literally not having remorse. To have changed his tune because he was told to is a testament to the questionable motives behind any of his responses to the board. He's been inconsistent with his testimony at nearly every board meeting and has committed one of the most egregious crimes a person.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Please deny the inmate parole. Please help our family. Please help me.
Thank you. The next speaker card I have is for Robin Bolger. Robin, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
The purpose of a parole suitability hearing is to determine whether an incarcerated person currently possesses an unreasonable risk of danger to society if released from prison. According to the CDCR website, there are determining factors. The number 1 factor, if the commitment offense was committed in an especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel manner. On that factor alone, the inmate should stay in prison until he dies. Raul Higgins killed Carolyn with his bare hands in a heinous, atrocious, and cruel manner. He forced the life out of her, leaving her suffering. He is not suitable. The number 2 factor, previous record of inflicting or attempting to inflict serious injury on a victim, particularly if serious assaultive behavior was demonstrated at an early age. This factor has been brought up in every hearing. His control and stalking behavior started in his youth. Last hearing, Commissioner Muniz stated in regards to his stalking mentality, "Don't you think that sounds creepy?" He is not suitable. The number 3 factor, unstable social history. Prisoner admits he has never had healthy relationships with any women in his past. He is unsuitable. The number 4 factor, prior sexual assault in a manner calculated to inflict unusual pain or fear upon the victim. Higgins drove Carolyn's fearful young children to school the morning he killed their mother. He is unsuitable. Number 5 factor, a lengthy history or severe mental problems related to the offense. The prisoner has spoke about his control issues with female relationships and even had a failed marriage while incarcerated, specifically because he wanted to control his wife from prison. He is not suitable. In closing, I want to reiterate the number 1 reason he shouldn't be released. Raul Higgins is a heinous, atrocious, and cruel killer. The importance attached to the circumstances in this case is left to the judge.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Please consider the pure heinousness Higgins is capable of. He is unsuitable. Please take my words into consideration and let Higgins die in prison.
Thank you. The next speaker card we have is Kara Bolger.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Bolger. I'm the granddaughter of Carolyn. I'm 18 years old, and though I have never had the privilege of meeting my grandmother, her presence has always been a part of my life. My aunts and uncles and father have told me stories of her kindness and her incredible skills in the kitchen. She was a great cook and baker, and we eat from her recipes every week. I have been told I have her long, dark eyelashes and her olive skin. I was even given her name, Carolyn. I am her firstborn grandchild, and yet I never had the chance to know her or to feel her love, all because of the actions of one man. It wasn't until I was in 6th grade that I was allowed to know about her death. My dad took my younger brother and me to the beach, to the tide pools where we spread her ashes. It was there that I learned the horrific truth about her death, that she was brutally taken from us. My grandmother was murdered in an act so full of anger and hatred that it's hard to fathom. I can't even imagine the fear and pain she must have endured in her final moments. He committed such a monstrous act of taking away a mother from her children and just left her there to be found. How does someone like that get to walk away with their life? Every day I strive to honor my grandmother's memory, and today I have to fight to keep her murderer behind bars. This is not a normal activity for an 18-year-old, but it's my reality, and I'm begging you, for the sake of my family's well-being, not to release him. He ruined my family's life and deserves to stay in prison. Throughout my life, I've been told that my grandmother is my guardian angel, always watching over me, always protecting me. Now I'm able to speak for her, to fight for her, and I know she's proud that I'm here today doing just that. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next speaker we have is Leo Bulger.
Dear board members, I am here today asking you not to release this inmate. My name is Leo Bulger and I am 17 years old. Because of this murderer, my grandmother, Carolyn, is dead. Due to his actions, I have lived 17 years without a grandmother. He is the reason that I have never hugged, never played, nor laughed with my grandmother. So I ask you today, why does this inmate deserve a free life when he has maliciously taken one from our family? Once again, I'm in opposition of this inmate's release. Please do not let a murderer walk free. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker we have is Mike Klieg, or Klieg. I can see you're with us, Mike. Your hand is up. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Right in the corner.
Good morning. My name is Mike Klieg. I'm the brother of Carolyn Bulger. Raul Higgins has served 25 years of a life sentence for taking my sister's life, which an act that was wreaked havoc in the lives of her 5 children and us as family members. It just doesn't seem fair to our family to have to go through this over and over again. We've been through 6, 7 parole board hearings in the last 12 years. And every time we have to relive this horror. We deserve to live in peace and not have to worry about what we need to write or what we need to say, and whether Raul will walk free for committing such a heinous crime. And I want you guys to realize the heinousness of this crime. My sister was the most loving, caring person I'd ever known. She helped people and would give them the clothes off her back, expecting nothing in return. She helped Raul, and what did she get in return? She literally got the life choked out of her, leaving her children without a mother. They'll never get to share with their mother the joys of their life's events, such as high school and college graduations, the weddings, the birth of children, grandchildren. What Raul did on that day in November of 1998 was calculated. He locked the doors of the house, knowing her 16-year-old son would have to get in the house through the bedroom window where he left my sister's body. He took the life of my sister with his bare hands, and then he pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, knowing that he will have a chance to be released on parole. And now for the last 12 years, 13 years, however long it's been, trying to get released, putting our family through all this hell every step of the way. If you decide to release Raul at this time, it would have damaging effects on our family and society. He's admitted that he has struggles with his relationship with women, and
your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Controlled setting. Okay, thank you. I'm just asking you to decline his request to be paroled at this time. I'm a minister of the gospel. I believe in forgiveness. I've forgiven him, but that doesn't mean that he should be paroled. He's done a lot of great things in
your
prison.
Time has
and
elapsed.
that's where
Please
he
conclude
should
your
stay.
statements.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker card is for Stacy Miller. Stacy Miller, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone. Stacy, if you're with us, we cannot hear you. We will circle back to Stacy. I'll move on to Jennifer Durbin. Jennifer Durbin, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute or press *6 by telephone.
Hey there.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jennifer Durbin. I am present to express my strong opposition to the parole of Raul Higgins. I firmly believe that releasing him to parole at this time would pose a significant risk to public safety and would not be in the best interest of the community. In 1998, Raul Higgins arrived unannounced and strangled Carolyn Marie Bolger in her home, then left her there alone to die. Her 16-year-old son had to find her. Prior to taking Carolyn's life, he stalked, manipulated, and abused multiple women. In light of Higgins' track record with women and the heinous nature of the murder, I ask that you deny his 6th attempt for parole. I have been a long friend of Carolyn's daughter, Melissa. Melissa is now married with a family of her own. It is devastating that Carolyn has not been there for the milestones in Melissa's life, her birthdays, her wedding, the birth of her child. Raul Higgins has not only deprived Carolyn's children of her love, but Carolyn's future children-in-law and grandchildren as well. I have witnessed the effect of this loss on the Bolger family innumerable times. It is heartbreaking. I basically just want to be here to ask for your attention to this matter and trust that the parole board will prioritize the safety and well-being of the community in reaching a just, informed decision. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker card is for Irene Velasco on behalf of Catherine Bamgrover. Irene, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. My name is Catherine Barngrover, and I am writing to you regarding the proposed release of Raul Higgins. I'm the mother of Carolyn Bolger, and I am writing for myself and her father, George Clegg. As I have previously written many times before, I'm requesting that you deny him parole. The nature of this crime does not warrant early release. Mr. Higgins committed a heinous, violent crime with his bare hands. He is a psychopath. He admitted wanting her to die and could have possibly changed to correct this personality. He is living in a controlled environment now. How will he be able to control his psychopathic personality if released? This family has endured enough with all these parole hearings. Where is the compassion for the victim's family? Every time he comes up for parole, we have to endure the tragic details of Carolyn's violent death. If you grant him parole, he will most likely reoffend. His personality cannot be reversed. George Clegg is 91 years old, and I am soon to be 85. We only want peace for our grandchildren and ourselves for our remaining years. For the safety of other families as well, please do not grant Raul Higgins parole. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker card I have is for Portia Wells or Portia Wells. Portia, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak. Portia or Portia, if you're with us, we cannot hear you. We'll circle back. We'll move on to Casey Bolger. I can see you. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Casey. I'm married to Joseph, and we have 2 very young children together who do not have a grandmother. I'd be curious to know if any of the supporters of Raul over the years have family that have died by strangulation by someone else, died by someone else's actual hands. If they had, I can bet they wouldn't be touting all of his great traits and talents and rehabilitation, because Raul is a murderer and lacks actual regard for human life. He drove her 2 children to elementary school and said this would be the last time they'd see him. Then he went back to the house and strangled Carolyn until he broke her trachea, which we've learned over the years in hearings takes incredible force, and left her on the floor to die. Then he threw a towel over her face and locked the doors so Carolyn's son, my husband, couldn't easily get into the house. The fact that this wasn't charged as first-degree murder in the first place is one of the greatest crimes. This was a horrific crime, and in a few months, when we have to share with our children where this man is now, I can't fathom explaining to them that Raul walks free. You can kill someone with your bare hands and have a whole life after being in prison for a couple decades. That's an insane true story to share with Carolyn's grandchildren. This would be the greatest injustice. Thank you.
Thank you. The last speaker card I have is for Topo Padilla. I believe he's in person, or they are in person.
Good afternoon. My name is Topo Padilla, and I am the president of Crime Victims United. And I proudly come here today to represent the family and friends that can't be here. They can't be here because they're tired. They've been through this over and over and over again. So I'm going to adjust some of my comments because Mr. Carlson covered many of what I was going to say. There have been 6 parole hearings that has been said in the 10 years. And I think I know what you guys have been through in hearing parole hearings, but what it does when we talk to families members is grueling. They have to live it over and over and over again. And this family has endured so much. I talked to Melissa yesterday for I don't know how long. Well, my family listened in the car. And to hear this story from her and the pain it has caused them is empathy and pain that some don't have. And you're sitting in a position where I hope and pray that empathy and pain helps make that decision. Yes, it was great to hear all the things that this person has done in prison. He can use those skills and do those things and be a good model role citizen in prison. Letting him come back out on our streets would not only torture this family, but what I've learned today could jeopardize the lives of others. We're not about keeping people in prison. I'm about rehabilitating people. And sometimes they need to be rehabilitated and stay in prison and use those skills there. To see those grandchildren and to go through what they're going through is tough. And to hear her children is just, it's brutal to come through this. So I think we all need to understand what this legislature just did and not passing 2 bills that would have adjusted parole for people. This legislature did it. That's speaking a lot of volume.
2 minutes has elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
That speaks volumes to what this legislature and this governor think about adjusting parole hearings. Please, in honor of this family, do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to give one more chance to Stacy Miller. Stacy Miller, if you're with us, you can unmute or press *6 by telephone. Stacy Miller, if you're here, we cannot hear you. I'd also like to give a second chance to Portia Wells or Portia Wells. Portia or Portia, if you're not here, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. I will move on to those who did not submit a speaker card. If you would like to speak in opposition of Raul Higgins and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you want to speak in opposition of Raul Higgins, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who would like to speak in opposition of Raul Higgins? Is there anyone else who has not spoken who would like to speak about Raul Higgins? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers for Raul Higgins.
The next case will be Torelle Hill. CDCR number V as in Victor 21418, item number 19. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in support of Torelle Hill and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and you want to speak in support of Torelle Hill, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who wants to speak in support of Torelle Hill? Chairperson, there appear to be no speakers in support of Torelle Hill.
Moderator, please ask for speakers in opposition to Torelle Hill.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in opposition of Torelle Hill and are joining us by video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you're on the phone and you want to speak in opposition of Torelle Hill, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of Torelle Hill? Is there anyone who has...
My name is Monique.
Go ahead.
My name is Monique Sayas, and I'm the auntie of the victim, Shanika Thomas. Torelle Hill was a friend of Shanika's, and he took advantage of that. When he asked or expected more from her, and she refused his affections, or whatever you want to call it, he attacked her. He attacked her, he beat her, and he left her in a dumpster enclosure after he gouged her eyes out with his hands. He did this to someone he was friends with. And when he did that to her, not only did he destroy her way of life, he destroyed her belief in the goodness of people, and he created a fear in her that she, even after 20 years, has not been able to get over. Releasing him will cause so many problems for her because she will not be able to see him if he is around. She is already afraid to hear his voice again, and there is just no way of comforting her from that. He took from her everything that she loved, seeing the blue of the sky, seeing a smile on a baby's face, just seeing the people she loves. She can't do that. And I don't think it would be fair that since her life has been altered this way, that he has an opportunity to have a regular life and be free. He does not deserve it. He is not, even though he has been a good prisoner, but he has people there that are taking care of him and making sure he takes his medication, making sure he gets his therapy, and making sure he does everything he needs to do. Once he's released, he will not have that. And although he will be released, hopefully to a different city, the area that they live in is very, very small, and the programs that they would both be involved in.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
They would definitely run into each other. We just ask that you please keep him locked up so that she can continue to have some semblance of a decent life. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who would like to speak in opposition of Torelle Hill?
Yes, my name is Tanea Kristen.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Tina Rogers.
Wait. We had Tamea Christian, I believe.
Yeah.
Speaking first.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and we will have time for the second speaker after.
Okay. I am a younger cousin of Shanika. I just want to say the brutality of the assault against my cousin has caused her to adapt to a new way of living, blind. And with his release, it will force her to again have to adapt to a new way of living. That fear of possibly being in the same vicinity of someone who nearly killed her. I'm sorry, kind of nervous. He has been monitored to ensure his medication is being taken, but how long would that last if he's released when his support system is no longer able to enforce that? Allowing his release is taking a chance, but what does that do for my cousin, knowing her offender is free and having to reorganize her life? She has been comfortable over the past years, traveling to school comfortably on the trains and buses, sometimes alone. And with his release, that's going to get taken from her. I just want to end it with this saying, when speaking about inmates being released, that word rehabilitation gets thrown around as if a person has been redeemed for the crime that they committed. And that's it.
Thank
I'm
you.
done.
Second speaker can go ahead.
Yes, I am the aunt that Shanika lived with. You know, now I'm just brain fog, but I'm just going to go to the top of here. She wrote a letter, and this is from my niece, Shanika. And this is word from word, and she is in special need. I am very scared of that boy. Now he can do this thing to me no more because he messed with my life. I don't think he should be free walking around my home. If he hurt me, he can hurt someone else. That is from the victim who he snatched her eyes off and left her for death. Now, myself, her aunt, he's being monitored by giving medication. What happens when he's off parole? What happens when there's nobody monitoring him? Who's going to protect my niece then? Because he's on parole, y'all monitoring him, but when he's off parole, what about the victim? That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of Torelle Hill? Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wishes to speak about Torelle Hill? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers for Torelle Hill.
The next case is Charles Jennings, CDCR number J as in Juliet 12596, item number 20. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you. We have a few speaker cards. The first is for Anthony Bethea or Bethea. Anthony, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak. Anthony, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of Mr. Jennings. My name is Anthony Bethea. I live in Los Angeles area. I've been a friend of Mr. Jennings and his family for many years. I've supported other incarcerated persons in the past, and I truly understand some of the challenges, especially people that are mobilely impaired and other medical issues. I will dedicate my time and offer Mr. Charles Jennings with transportation, financial support also. I will also help Mr. Jennings with knowledgeable information concerning the use of technology and even using credit cards, etc. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Mr. Jennings. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next speaker card I have is for Tracy Thompson. Tracy Thompson, go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak. Tracy, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. We'll circle back to Tracy. I'll move on. Anthony Nichols. Anthony Nichols, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute. Anthony, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. We'll circle back. Gregory Cross. Gregory Cross, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute or press *6 by telephone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, my name is Gregory Cross. I'm calling on behalf of Mr. Charles Jennings. Please be advised that I'm a great friend of Mr. Jennings, just like family. I've known him for over 40 years. I've written on his behalf previously, and I'd just like to expound upon a few of the variables which will allow the governing parties to make a just decision to grant him parole. It is my belief that should you grant parole, he will forever be a law-abiding citizen. I know a lot of people that have made mistakes in their life, but transition after doing long stints in both state and federal prison that have gone on to become successful. Regardless of Charles' attributable offense, I know that he's a good person. But the most important thing that I've gone on to understand about this man is his contrition. He's very contrite about his situation. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that have been in situations like this that are not contrite. One noticeable thing about Charles is his willingness to listen and not become reactive to any negative thoughts or feelings of others. His cognitive skills have increased. His wanting to absorb knowledge has made his appetite for success very palpable. He's maintained his desire to stay free of any chemical dependency. His desire to stay sober from any alcohol or any illegal substance has us all excited. I say this because he's reiterated this on many occasions of his desire to maintain a lifestyle free of anything illegal and mind-altering, as well as any gang affiliations. All of the available resources are there to help this man in each and every way possible. I am truly confident that after serving over 30 years in prison, Charles will be an asset to our communities at large and a contributor to the overall welfare of his family, whom they love and is so special and reciprocal. The love is so special and reciprocal. The programs that we have available for Charles in the Los Angeles area are designed for people like Charles who become employed upon release. It's a company called Urban Alchemy. It's designed specifically for people that have had long terms of incarceration. I personally cannot provide them
Your
with
2 minutes
housing, but
have
I have the
elapsed. Please
resources
conclude your statement.
available that would allow him to receive immediately upon his release, enable his transition to be as flawless and secure as possible. And I look forward to his return.
Thank you. I'd like to circle back to Tracy Thompson. Tracy Thompson, are you with us? Tracy, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Anthony Nichols. Anthony, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. I'll move on to those who did not submit a speaker card. If you would like to speak in support of Charles Jennings and are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. I'm sorry, go ahead. Jesse Cesena, go ahead, or Cesena. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Dr.
Yes, thank you. My name is
Jesse Cesena, go ahead.
Jesse Cesena. I'm a case manager with Legacy Alliance Outreach Reentry Program. We're a nonprofit organization that serves the community by addressing human needs in a holistic manner. The diversity of services provided are as unique as the human beings. We believe that the spirit of every human being is valuable and worthy of care and attention. The services we provide are designed with this in mind. We're here to support Mr. Jennings transition into the community in a safe and healthy manner. Our recovery doesn't stop at the door. You know, we understand that one of the concerns that the governor had was the support that Mr. Jennings would have upon release. At Legacy Alliance, we firmly believe that every individual has a potential to thrive when given the right support and opportunities. Our organization is not just about providing services, it's about holding Mr. Jennings accountable. You know, it's about fostering an environment where individuals can rediscover their strengths and reclaim their futures. We offer a range of comprehensive services designed to facilitate a seamless transition back into society and champion restorative justice practices. Our transition housing program, is the heart of our efforts, providing and nurturing a structured environment that helps individuals ease into their new life with confidence. Beyond housing, we offer crucial resources such as housing referrals, employment referrals, and direct employment opportunities. We understand that moving from a highly structured environment to a less structured environment can be challenging. We understand, you know, these obstacles that may pose a threat. However, we're here to walk them through the whole process to help them navigate, you know, through the system. We are proud to offer a variety of support services tailored to meet the unique challenges that Mr. Jennings may face, you know, during reintegration. You know, Mr. Jennings will not be alone. He'll have the
Your
support.
2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
With that being said, I just want to thank you for this opportunity, and we believe that you'll make the right decision. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. There was one other speaker who wanted to speak. Go ahead. I believe there was another speaker. Go ahead and unmute or press *6 by telephone.
I am the director of the Cannon House Transitional Reentry Program. We are a supportive environment that allows the ex-offender to be encouraged, empowered, and educated while guiding them to becoming a productive, responsible, and respected citizen. The Cannon House offers a full range of services and referrals such as housing, advocacy, career exportation, employment specialists that provide job training and development, basic banking education, budgeting, and financial literacy. Our approach provides a holistic foundation for our case management services, and it helps to expand the opportunities for our residents, ensure their success, and encouraging their reentry into the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you are on the phone and you'd like to speak in support of Charles Jennings, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Hi,
Hello,
my name is
members of the
Anthony.
board.
Oh, I'm sorry. The lady who was speaking first.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello, members of the board. My name is Kimberly Ann Curtis. I'm a certified mentor, a mandatory abuse and neglect reporter, and a personal sponsor. I have successfully.
I'm sorry, you got accidentally muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself and I'll pause your time. Number ending in 7393, go ahead and unmute yourself again. *6. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, I paused your time. Go ahead.
Hello, members of the board. My name is Kimberly Curtis. I'm a certified mentor, a mandatory abuse and neglect reporter, and a personal sponsor. I have successfully mentored and sponsored many inmates who were incarcerated and released. I am calling in support of the release of Mr. Charles Jennings. I met Mr. Jennings through a mutual acquaintance over 20 years ago. Over the years, Mr. Jennings he began to open up and break down the barriers that were holding him back. He has never made excuses and has been remorseful of the bad choices he had made. He has grown to be trustworthy, dependable, and disciplined. The one quality I appreciate the most from Mr. Jennings is his honesty with me. I can assure you that Mr. Jennings will be supported in every way upon his release with the home, sponsorship, transportation, everything that he will need. With the support of the friends and family that are ready and waiting for his release, I have no doubt that Mr. Jennings will be successful in the outside world given the stable environment that is being provided to him. Mr. Jennings has worked very hard to change his life and prove that he is worthy of a second chance. Mr. Jennings has a business plan and training dogs to detect diabetic seizures and other medical issues, which he has been successful in doing inside the prison with the Freedom Dog Training Program, and I have no doubt he will be very successful upon his release and a great asset to the community. I ask that you not only have faith in Mr. Jennings that he will be an upstanding citizen upon his release, but I also ask that you have faith in a rehabilitation system that he is under. I believe that after such a long term in prison, a lot of hard work, counseling, 12-step programs, and following the rehab system he has been under, Mr. Jennings has proved beyond reasonable doubt that he can and will be successful upon his release. I'm grateful and appreciative to the members of the board for taking this time and consideration for the recent release of Mr. Jennings. I look forward to continuing sponsorship and mentoring Mr. Jennings upon his release. Thank you for your time and consideration of the release of Mr. Jennings. Thank you.
Thank you. There was another speaker. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Anthony Ammons. I am a former incarcerated human being. I served 20 years on 102 years to life. I was released 3 years ago, and today I serve as a special projects coordinator for the California Department of Justice. I'm here in full support of Mr. Charles Jennings, who I've known since I was a kid, who tried to mentor me through letters to not get me to join gangs and do things in the streets, which I end up doing. Knowing him as a human being and seeing him and see how hard he has worked to develop his mindset to be a better person where he is, shows me that he can be a good community member. And I do not believe he is a threat to public safety. I want to thank you for your time, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Charles Jennings? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers in support of Charles Jennings.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Charles Jennings.
I am so sorry. We did circle back on the two callers. I apologize. Go ahead. Yes, I do not have any speaker cards for opposition. If you would like to speak in opposition of Charles Jennings and are in person, please step toward the podium. If you're on video, please raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button, and I'll call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you're on the phone and you want to speak in opposition of Charles Jennings, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of Charles Jennings? Is there anyone else who has not spoken who would like to speak about Charles Jennings? Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers for Charles Jennings.
Thank you. Before proceeding, we're going to take a break. It's going to be a 10-minute break. I note the time is now 1:13. Let's come back at 1:24.
position of parole, and identify yourself as family, attorney, district attorney, victim, next of kin, anonymous, or other. Si desea hacer un comentario, por favor llene una tarjeta y lo manda al correo electrónico bphcards@cdcr.gov. La tarjeta está disponible en nuestro sitio web al cdcr.ca.gov/BPH. Llenar la tarjeta es voluntario, quien quiera puede asistir y hacer comentarios. Si quiere mantenerse anónimo, ponga anónimo en vez de su nombre o ponga los últimos 2 números de su número telefónico. También puede llamar al 916-322-4752 y dejar la siguiente información: su nombre, o diga anónimo, su número de teléfono o los últimos 2 números, su organización, el nombre y el número del caso, si está de acuerdo con o en contra del caso, su relación al caso, si es pariente, abogado, fiscal o víctima. Position of parole, and identify yourself as family, attorney, district attorney, victim, next of kin, anonymous, or other. Si desea hacer un comentario, por favor llene una tarjeta y lo manda al correo electrónico bphcards@cdcr.gov. La tarjeta está disponible en nuestro sitio web al cdcr.ca.gov/BPH. Llenar la tarjeta.
All right, thank you all. We have returned and we are going to continue. The next case is Jason LINT, CDCR number G as in golf 55884, item number 21. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
There are no speaker cards for Jason LINT. If you would like to speak in support of Jason LINT and are in are on video, please raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in support of Jason Lint, please unmute yourself and press *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Jason Lint? Chairperson, there are no speakers in support of Jason Lint.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Jason Lint.
There are no speaker cards in opposition of Jason Lint. If you would like to speak in opposition of Jason Lint and are on video, raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in opposition of Jason Lint, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of Jason Lint? If there is anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak about Jason Lint, Chairperson, there is no more speakers for Jason Lint.
The next case is MADIE Moore, CDCR number W as in whiskey 59257, item number 22. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
I have no speaker cards in support. If you would like to speak in support of MADIE Moore and are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button. I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in support of MADIE Moore, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself.
Moderator, I believe we have a hand up.
You may begin speaking. You have 2 minutes when you start. Yes, sir. We have not begun speaking in opposition of MADIE Moore at this time. I will circle back to you when it is your turn. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in support of MADIE Moore? Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of MADIE Moore.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to MADIE Moore.
Our first speaker is Kenneth Gridiron.
Yes.
You have 2 minutes when you begin to speak.
Okay. Hello, my name is Kenneth Gridiron Sr., the father of Kenneth Gridiron Jr. My son, who was living with MADIE Moore, who went missing in 1989 when he was a toddler. In 1984, during the in 1994, during the course of the murder investigation of another foster child in the care of MADIE Moore, the skeleton remains of a 4 to 5 year old boy was found encased in cement in the public storage unit. Through DNA identified as Kenneth Gridiron Jr., who was murdered by the hands of MADIE Moore, and I believe she should spend life in prison without parole. That's what I think. That's all I have.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Candace Moore.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Candace Moore. MADIE Moore is my mother, and I am speaking in opposition. I was speaking at a conference in Australia when I received the email that Governor Newsom fortunately echoed my concerns, and those are that my mother has not dealt with the trauma that caused all of this. My mother is sadistic. You know, when I was, and I'm going to go in length of sobriety, I'm 29 years sober, extremely active in Alcoholics Anonymous. I also own my business. I work with several organizations to address and identify emotional trauma. And so, you know, I visited my mother when I was 10 years sober. So she had been in prison maybe 11 years because she told me that she had lung cancer. And my sister and I went, my sister and brother were raised with her, endured not just physical abuse, but my mother is sadistic. My mother is sinister. I work with many people. I believe that people can change. I see it, not just in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, but with the organizations I work with. And I also know that there are individuals who are not changing. My mother has not dealt with, she has not accounted for, you know, the fact that she tortured and killed little Kenny. And there are so many other items that I don't have time, but I'm going to say this, you know, our family has consistently been let down by individuals who are degreed, who are holding these positions in law enforcement, social services. My mother was given 4 additional children, 2 of which she's killed after a history of abusing my brother and sister. And so how much is the life of this little Black girl and little Black boy worth? It is not okay that she's even up for parole. She has not changed. And I hope that you are able to hear what I'm saying today. I timed myself. So thank you so much for this opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you. If you would like to speak in opposition of Maddie Moore and are on video, raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in opposition of Maddie Moore, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of Maddie Moore? Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak about Maddie Moore? Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Maddie Moore.
Thank you. The next case is Kelsey MORASCI. CDCR number W is in whiskey, A is in alpha, 5429, item number 23. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
The first speaker is Kelsey MORASCI. You have 2 minutes when you begin speaking.
Good afternoon. My name is Kelsey MORASCI, and I'm here today in support of my sister, Kelsey MORASCI. During her incarceration, Kelsey has dedicated herself to personal growth, participating in or completing over 45 programs and workshops aimed at bettering herself. One of the key areas Kelsey has worked on is in her relationships with others. She has not been in a romantic relationship in over 10 years, using this time to develop a deep understanding of the signs of unhealthy or abusive relationships. She has learned how to remove herself from negative or harmful situations and has built strategies to cope with conflict in a healthy way. Prioritizing her mental health, Kelsey consistently participates in groups and researches resources she can rely on once released, ensuring that her progress continues. Kelsey has also strengthened her positive, loving relationships with friends and has nurtured family connections through communication and trust. Kelsey has been accepted into the Veterans Transition Center in Monterey County, This program stood out to Kelsey and our family as it offers personalized services that include domestic violence prevention, behavioral therapy, life skills development, and more. The center provides housing, jobs, transportation, and other resources to help veterans transition back into society. It also has an impressive 0% recidivism rate. Kelsey's positive attitude, clear motivation, and the maturity she demonstrates in making thoughtful decisions have given me full confidence in her ability to transition successfully back into society. With the continued support and love from our family and my personal support emotionally, financially, or with anything else that Kelsey needs, I believe Kelsey is well prepared for the future that lies ahead for her. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Denise Burgett. Denise Burgett, you have 2 minutes. It starts when you begin speaking.
All right, commissioners, good afternoon. Can everyone hear me okay? Awesome. Okay, so my name is Denise Burgett. I'm here today to give my statement in support of my aunt, Kelsey MORASCI. Kelsey was incarcerated when I was just 11 years old. Now today, at nearly 26 and pursuing my PhD in graduate school, I feel I've taken a front row seat to Kelsey's remarkable growth during her time in prison. Both Kelsey and I are proud first-generation college students, and we even were able to earn our bachelor's degrees together while she was incarcerated. Aside from the huge task of receiving her degree, Kelsey has dedicated herself to over 45 programs and workshops, all aimed at bettering herself and developing positive habits. Rather than seeking comfort in romantic relationships, Kelsey has focused on her personal development, which has been transformative. Over the past decade, she has gained a deep understanding of what constitutes healthy relationships, enabling her to identify and avoid toxic dynamics. Kelsey has been a guiding light for myself and my sister in offering valuable advice on the importance of safety, mutual love, and respect in our own relationships. I can confidently say Kelsey is equipped with the insight and maturity to navigate her future relationships in a positive way. Kelsey has also straightened the connections with her family and friends, and she has been accepted into the Veterans Transition Center in Monterey County, a program designed to help veterans like her reintegrate with an impressive recidivism rate of 0%. Kelsey and I frequently discuss our dreams and goals for the future. Hers are rooted in practicality and a desire for a peaceful life focused on family and making a positive impact on others. I firmly believe that Kelsey is committed to a path of positivity and growth, and I ask you to consider her progress as you make your decision today. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Saul Mercado. Saul Mercado, your 2 minutes starts when you begin speaking.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, my voice is really bad, but I wanted to make sure that I'm here today to support Kelsey. My name is Sol. I'm also a formerly incarcerated woman who was granted parole in 2020. And I've known Kelsey since 2015. Well, actually since 2013, but we didn't get to start a friendship since 2015 when she moved into my unit and became my roommate. I just want to say about Kelsey that she has been a very positive person in my life. She has been a mentor, and she has been an accountability partner for me. And she has helped me so much in my recovery. And I felt that, you know, a lot of her mentorship wouldn't be possible, you know, like my freedom wouldn't be possible with, you know, without her being a mentor to me. I'm also a reentry coordinator, and can you guys hear me good? Okay. I'm also a reentry coordinator for a nonprofit in Oakland called Planting Justice, and I work in the reentry field, which I connect people with resources and with jobs and groups and different things like that. And I have been working with Kelsey and connecting her with all these different resources upon her release. And I just want to say that she has worked really hard. Like, I feel like all these years she has done a whole 360, and I feel she's deserving of a second chance, because I know that all the tools that she has earned while being in the ONCP, as an ONCP mentor, facilitating, taking groups, being of service to other people, and also learning how to build positive and healthy relationships has helped her so much. And I know that in the past we have not made good decisions that led us to incarceration, but I felt that rehabilitation is possible and that she deserves that chance, because I know that when she comes home, she's going to be a positive influence on others. If she does it in prison, and even with people that have gotten out and still in contact with her, she's still that positive mentor, and she's still that positive person, and still continue.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Well, I just want to say thank you, and I really hope that Kelsey gets a second chance because she deserves it, and she has worked really hard.
Thank you. Next speaker is Tina Marie Silva. Tina Marie Silva, you have 2 minutes when you begin to speak. Tina Marie Silva, if you are speaking, we cannot hear you. Okay, we will circle back to Tina Marie Silva. I have our next speaker as Celia Furl. Celia Furl, you have 2 minutes. It starts when you begin to speak.
Hi, my name is Celia Furl, and I am one of the founders of Hope Beyond, a nonprofit who works with the girls, helping them with board preparation, and we also have a pen pal program. Kelsey's been a part of our program for almost 2 years now. She is involved with one of our pen pals. She also did the board preparation packet with us as well. We support Kelsey 100% when she gets out. We will help her with any resources that she might need upon her transition. We will definitely be going and visiting her and being part of her life as soon as she gets out. We've seen her come a long way in the 2 years that we've been in contact with, and we definitely stand behind her 100%. We'll travel down to see her and help her with whatever she needs. So I ask you to please grant her suitability and let her come home. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Elizabeth Nomura. Elizabeth Nomura, you have 2 minutes. It begins when you begin to speak. Elizabeth, if you are speaking, we cannot hear you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, thank you very much. I am a formerly incarcerated statewide organizer for the California Coalition for Women Prisoners and a longtime friend of Kelsey's. Kelsey entered the Department of Corrections as a young woman, and I have seen her take in the necessary choices necessary to distance herself from people, places, and things that served her no justice. Kelsey's certification as a drug and alcohol counselor will secure her employment in any number of treatment centers ready to employ people like herself with the lived experience expertise. As a post-secondary graduate, Kelsey has already placed the odds in her favor, as the recidivism rate of college graduates after parole is next to none. Upon Kelsey's release, she is afforded the full support of CCWP with welcome home financial stipend support and a plethora of community resources. As her friend, Kelsey will have my full support day and night, as I am also a reentry support advocate with a full network, no matter where she lands, no matter what and throughout the state of California. We have a complex network of individuals from the formerly incarcerated community throughout the state who will pull no stops on her behalf. I'm asking that this board upholds the suitability that was granted to her during her hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will now circle back to Tina Marie Silva. Tina Marie Silva, are you available to speak? Tina Marie Silva, if you are speaking, we cannot hear you. Okay. If you would like to speak in support of Kelsey MORASCI and you are on video, please raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak.
Moderator, we have one on the screen who raised their hand.
Okay. You may begin speaking. You have 2 minutes when you begin.
They might have dropped off.
I'm sorry, I don't see them.
Can I ask, Tina Marie's trying to speak, but can you give the directions one more time for the phone unmuting?
Yes. If you are on the phone and you would like to speak, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. Thank you, Lisa. My name is Tina Marie Silva. I'm from California Coalition of Women's Prisoners. I'm also an advocate, also formerly incarcerated 10.5 years. While I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Kelsey myself, I have been asked by numerous people, her peers, her friends, people that she's impacted so heavily within the prison system, that are just so supportive of her release. She's really looked to as a leader in that space. Like some others have mentioned, she's an OCMP mentor. She's able to, that work alone will allow her to gain employment in various places. Like Lisa said, CCWP is very vast, and we're willing to help her and support her wherever she may land. But just the amount of people that have reached out to us to support her has been outstanding, and really speaks to her character. We are just so impressed with her, and we just really hope the very best for her. And we hope that the board continues to see her through her grant. Looks like Kelsey has really done the work, and we're really excited to welcome her home. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Kelsey MORASCI?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Jenny Nestler again, Director over at the Veterans Transition Center, and I'm here to offer my full support for Kelsey, who is a veteran and has been accepted into the program. Over the time I've known Kelsey, she's shown great determination and strength, not only working on herself, but also supporting her fellow veterans. At the VTC, we're committed to helping each veteran navigate the challenges of re-entry through comprehensive wraparound services. These include everything from transitional housing, mental health, substance use counseling, job training, educational support, and all parole condition classes. Our LTOR program is designed to provide veterans like Kelsey with a solid foundation for success as they reintegrate back into society. We're thrilled to welcome Kelsey into our program, knowing her resilience and commitment will make her a great addition to our community. We believe Kelsey's journey to self-betterment will continue to thrive under the support and structure LTOR offers, and we are confident in her ability to succeed. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Kelsey MORASCI? Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of Kelsey MORASCI.
Jeanette Hernandez has her hand raised.
Oh. Hi, good afternoon, Commissioners. I am here to ask you to give Kelsey a second chance. I've known Kelsey for more than 10 years. It has been such a pleasure and honor to see Kelsey's transformation. Kelsey has been a big impact in my life and who I am today. I am a formerly incarcerated individual who was released probably like 1.5 years ago, but I have maintained a friendship with Kelsey. Kelsey has not only mentored me in leaving unhealthy situations, but unhealthy living situations. Kelsey has given me great advice and has been such a great asset to my life. So I do ask that you take into consideration her parole stability. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Kelsey MORASCI? Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of Kelsey MORASCI.
Thank you. Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Kelsey MORASCI.
The first speaker is Jessica Curley. Jessica, you have 2 minutes when you begin to speak.
Yes, Jessica Curley, Deputy District Attorney, County of San Luis Obispo.
In 2009, Kelsey MORASCI lured out, brutally stabbed, and killed her ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend with a Swiss Army knife in a fit of rage and jealousy. Her girlfriend broke up with her, and they agreed MORASCI would move out of their shared apartment home. The victim came over, unfortunately, right as MORASCI was wrapping up her move. Right off the bat, MORASCI called the cops and lied, telling them her ex-girlfriend's young daughter said the new boyfriend made her uncomfortable. After police came to the home and determined that was not credible, MORASCI drank a third bottle of vodka with various drugs already in her system and lured out and killed the victim. She then put on a charade acting like it was in self-defense and even tried to administer CPR to the victim, but was stopped by witnesses. She continued the charade at and after trial, resulting in a second-degree murder conviction. At the May parole hearing, she admitted she lied before, during, and after the trial. She also admitted to 2 recent incidents in prison where she had angry outbursts toward her cellmates in both 2018 and 2020 as documented in her confidential file. This was over something as simple as playing music too loud. She also testified that she anticipated that being alone would be a stressor in the community if she's released because she is never alone in prison. At the October 2022 parole hearing, MORASCI admitted that she might kill someone if she drinks alcohol again, and she might drink alcohol in response to relationship stress. Kelsey MORASCI committed a first-degree murder by her own admissions at the last parole hearing, and shouldn't be given the benefit of lying at trial and let out early. She is still dangerous as evidenced by her continued lack of self-control and her volatile outbursts in prison. She admitted relationship stress could lead her to drink alcohol, and alcohol could lead her to kill. Once MORASCI is ever out of the confines and support of prison and explores relationships, she will inevitably experience some rejection or disappointment, and that would set off her violent reactions again. By her own admission, the strong likelihood that I'm telling you about could be made certain if she uses alcohol or other substances again. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. If you would like to speak in opposition of Kelsey MORASCI and are on video, raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in opposition of Kelsey MORASCI, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself.
Hello?
Hello. You have 2 minutes when you begin to speak. Hello? Would you like to speak in opposition of Kelsey MORASCI?
Are you talking to me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no, you know what? I apologize. I've been trying to get in on your line for the longest when y'all was on Terrell Hill, and y'all wouldn't let me through there. And now I'm trying to figure out how I can speak on behalf of him. Oh, not on behalf of him, on behalf of my daughter that he attacked.
We will loop back to you in just a moment as we continue. We'll squeeze you in right before we finish here on Mr. Nguyen. So please hold.
Okay. Okay.
If you are on the phone and would like to speak in opposition of Kelsey MORASCI, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of Kelsey MORASCI?
Hi. Hi. There's someone on the phone that wants to speak in support and is not letting her.
If you are on the phone and would like to speak, press *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak about Kelsey MORASCI?
Just very briefly, anybody who's trying to get through and is unable to speak, once we've gotten through all of the cases today, we will give an opportunity for anyone who has not spoken yet to speak on any of the cases. So we'll circle back to you toward the end of the hearing today.
Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Kelsey MORASCI.
Certainly. I did mention earlier that we would get to the speaker on behalf of Hill and in opposition. So, sir, who phoned in just a second ago, please go ahead and make your statement in opposition to Torell Hill.
Me? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Jamie Thomas. I'm the victim's mother, Shanika Thomas. And I wanted to say, you know, I noticed like all the hearings we've been going to, I never heard no one call in or was there to support him. So where's his support system going to come from? You know, it's sad that my daughter tell me every day, Mama, I forgot how you look when we talk on the phone. She can't even remember how I look. And it's really sad that she had to go through life not being able to see because he took her eyes out and he's able to walk around and see everything. And that's not fair. And then we have to keep coming back to all this and have to relive it over and over again. It's just not fair. And she's literally scared to death of him. Even though she stays with my sister, I talk to my daughter every day. I asked her, was she going to get online today? She said, no, I don't want to hear his voice because I don't want to have nightmares. And that's really sad. Nobody should have to live like that. So this is a trauma, and I just don't feel like, you know, okay, he did 25 years, but it's a lot of people did stuff and got out, and they went right back. So who's to say he's not going to do it to anybody else? What if it was your kids? How would you feel? So I want, you know, when y'all make our decisions, just put yourself in our shoes and ask yourself, what would you do? What would you do if it was your child? And that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. For others who might want to make their statements, we will swing around and make sure that all have an opportunity at the end at the present. We're going to move on to the next case, which is Key or Qui Nguyen, CDCR number G as in golf 28458, item number 24. Moderator, please call for speakers in support of Mr. Nguyen.
There are no speaker cards in support of Mr. Nguyen. If you would like to speak in support of Qui Nguyen and are in person, please step forward to the podium. If you are on video, raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button. I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in support of Qui Nguyen, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Qui Nguyen? Chairperson, there are no speakers in support of Qui Nguyen.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Qui Nguyen.
There are no speaker cards in opposition for Qui Nguyen. If you would like to speak in opposition of Qui Nguyen and are in person, please step towards the podium. If you are on video, raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button. I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in opposition of Qui Nguyen, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of Qui Nguyen? Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Qui Nguyen.
The next case is EUGENIO PEREIDA, CDCR number H as in hotel 40917, Item number 25, moderator, please call for speakers in support.
There are no speaker cards for Eugenio PEREIDA. If you would like to speak in support of Eugenio PEREIDA and are in person, please step forward to the podium. If you are on video, raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in support of Eugenio PEREIDA, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Eugenio PEREIDA? Chairperson, there are no speakers in support of Eugenio PEREIDA.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Eugenio PEREIDA.
There are no speaker cards in opposition for Eugenio PEREIDA. If you would like to speak in opposition to Eugenio PEREIDA, please, and are on video, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in opposition for Eugenio PEREIDA, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition to Eugenio PEREIDA? Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak about Eugenio PEREIDA? Chairperson, there are no speakers for Eugenio PEREIDA.
The next case is MARSHA Ramos, CDCR number W as in whiskey 38977, item number 26. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Our first speaker in support is Tina Marie Silva. Tina Marie Silva, your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. My name is Tina Marie Silva. I'm calling once again from the California Coalition of Women's Prisoners and also Survived and Punished, an advocacy group throughout the state of California. Also formerly incarcerated. I did a majority of my time with Ms. Ramos. This is not her first unbunk, sadly. I believe this is in fact her third. Ms. Ramos was found suitable, then she was denied, and then she was found suitable and sent to unbunk and then rescinded. She was then again found suitable once again at the next parole hearing, and here we are again at unbunk. MARSHA does the same thing every time, even every denial and every hurdle. She continues on with the same program, with the same things, and every panel or every commissioners that she goes in front of, they are satisfied that the work MARSHA has done. So it's very confusing that we're here once again. MARSHA has always remained working within the prison system, educating those of us who didn't have the clerical skills that she had, continuing in her faith, living within the honor dorm system, continuing to get laudatory chrono after laudatory chrono. So we're confused on why we're here again, sadly. If this was her first unbunk, due to the nature of everything, we understand. But at this point now, this is just becoming a constant. MARSHA is 70 years old. She spent almost 30 years incarcerated. And we just think that all of her accolades and all of her good behavior and all of these things and all of these commissioners that have granted her suitability should carry some weight today. And I really hope that you continue the grant for MARSHA Ramos. Thank you.
Thank you. If you would like to speak in support of MARSHA Ramos and are on video, raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in support of MARSHA Ramos, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself.
Moderator, I believe we have a hand up for Elizabeth Numera.
Thank you again. Once again, Elizabeth Nomura, statewide membership organizer for the California Coalition for Women Prisoners, in strong support of the upholding of the suitability decision by the board for Marsha Ramos. Piggybacking off of my fellow comrade and Tina Marie Silva, yes, indeed, Marsha Ramos has gone through gone through the parole and en banc and suitability back and forth, and done so much for the inside community within the prisons. And I just want to say that 74, Marsha is well within her age range for her elder parole, and she is ready. And I understand that that her crime is, if you on paper, looks horrific, but however, reading into it, she is definitely a survivor of in the crime herself as well. And she has utilized her time in contributing to others who have experienced trauma and at the hands of those who were a part of their crimes as well. And so I just want to say that survivors of violent crimes, during the involvements of their crimes, Marsha has been an advocate for those who were survived and punished. And so I want to advocate for the release of Marsha Ramos. She has done so much good work inside and contributing to so many women coming home. And I feel like it's time for her to come home as well, so that she can live the last remaining years of her life in freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Marsha Ramos? Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of Marsha Ramos.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Marsha Ramos.
There are no speaker cards. If you would like to speak in opposition of Marsha Ramos and are on video, raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button. I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in opposition of Marsha Ramos, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in opposition of Marsha Ramos? Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak about Marsha Ramos? Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Marsha Ramos.
The next case is Tyrone REAGOR, CDCR number H is in Hotel 82185, item number 27. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Our first speaker is Shawana Griffin. Shawana, you have 2 minutes when you begin to speak. Shawana, if you are speaking, we cannot hear you. We will circle back to Shawana. Our next speaker is Brian King. Brian King, you have 2 minutes when you begin to speak.
Thank you, panel, for having me. My name is Brian King. I am an adult basic education teacher here at San Quentin. Tyrone has been my clerk for over a year, and I spend anywhere from 4 to 8 hours with that man a day. I feel like I've had a chance to get to know him well, to hear his story. In that capacity, He has been a person that has done a lot to support me, facilitate the classroom, set things up, but also seeing him learn how to de-escalate situations, how to handle sometimes a fragile student body, how to take men that come to class every day with a variety of situations they're dealing with, and how Tyrone is able to use his position as a clerk to be a positive influence on these guys. And it's, I'm very thankful for him in that and how he supports me in that. I have had a chance to see not just how he handles his work, but his personal affairs, his spiritual affairs. We spent time together, we prayed together, and I firmly believe in redemption, and I believe in rehabilitation. Tyrone has been incarcerated for a very long time, and I can't think of anybody that's more ready to step out and to be a part of a different community and to contribute to that community in a really positive way. He is a very focused individual. He uses tools effectively to deal with any adverse situations that pop up. In many ways, he is drama adverse in terms of he tries to avoid situations that could jeopardize his position, jeopardize what he's trying to do and what he's trying to accomplish. He believes in himself, and I've seen the work that he has put in.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Tyrone has my full support on the outside, and I ask for you to grant his release. Thank you.
Thank you. If you would like to speak in support of Tyrone REAGOR and are on video, raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. I saw Hart was the last name.
Yes, thank you. Ananda.
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. I represented Mr. REAGOR at his parole hearing, and I'm here today to speak to his suitability for parole. Though he struggled at times to verbally express himself at his hearing, he nonetheless was able to demonstrate that he does not pose a current unreasonable risk to public safety, and his grant should be affirmed. I want to point the panel's attention to pages 51 through 61 of the hearing transcript, wherein Commissioner Barton asked Mr. REAGOR about his identity and how he had changed from this experience. Mr. REAGOR indicated that it was because of his victims and the impact that he had on each of them. He went on to describe in great detail the letters that each victim wrote, how they had been affected in relationships, in their careers, and in their sense of security and safety in their homes. Commissioner Barton rightly commented that this degree of knowledge, empathy, and compassion for one's victims is actually one of the best predictors of sexual recidivism. And it was clear to that panel that Mr. REAGOR's appreciation of the harm he caused is immense, and that he is reminded every day about how and why he needs to be different and to do better. The unfortunate reality of every crime is that there is no way to undo the harm. This is as true for the victims as it is for the perpetrators, and this reality makes true healing and rehabilitation a slow and gradual process. Mr. REAGOR began this process back in 2012, but in 2020, he was particularly affected by the Victims Impact course that he took. Before that point, he had spent a lot of time trying to deepen his self-awareness, but he hadn't yet faced the deep wounds that he had caused, the impact of his actions. Now, as we sit here today, we have a man who has diligently addressed his issues through mental health counseling, programming, and coursework. He has realized that some of the adverse experiences from his own childhood were so monumental that he developed maladaptive behaviors and did not treat those that he encountered with care or compassion. He has now been working for several years to heal his own pain, and in so doing, has finally grasped the harm he caused. He has been able to effectively process his pain and has become significantly more self-aware and able to plan for a successful reentry. He has also realized that this work will never end. He is
Your
not
2
healed.
minutes has elapsed. Please provide your
Thank you.
closing statement.
Thank you. But he has actively engaged in his own healing. It's in this dedication to the process, his solid relapse prevention plans, and the support of his community that will make him successful on parole. I ask that his grant be affirmed.
If you would like to speak in support of Tyrone REAGOR and are on video, raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. If you are on the phone and want to speak in support of Tyrone Reagor, please unmute yourself by pressing *6 and identify yourself. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in support of Tyrone Reagor?
I believe we have a hand raised for Stacy Miller.
Hi, I wanted to speak on behalf of the Bolger family. Is this now not the time?
We will circle back to you at the end of, excuse me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak on behalf, in support of Tyrone Reagor? Chairperson, there is no more speakers in support of Tyrone Reagor.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Tyrone Reagor.
There are no speaker cards in opposition. If you would like to speak in opposition of Tyrone Reagor and are on video, raise your hand using Microsoft Teams button, and I will call on you when it is your turn to speak. Stacy Miller, you have 2 minutes. It begins when you begin to speak.
My name is Stacy Miller, and I've known the Bolger family for over 25 years. They are a family of wonderful children, and I just think it's, you know, somebody who has taken a mother away from a group of children, especially when they were young. It sounds like he had lived through a traumatic life himself, and then taking away a mother from children is so detrimental to their own development, but also just thinking about having someone like that, being a woman myself and being a mother, having somebody on the street that is somebody that could cause me harm in a domestic violence situation or in my home, or thinking about the threat to the Bolger children going forward. It feels like that, you know, he needs to stay behind bars, because we don't want anyone that could be a potential threat. And of course, there is reform for people, but anyone who does not have the self-regulation skills to think ahead about taking somebody else's own life is someone that I feel uncomfortable having here on the streets or having in my community. His release just seems unquestionable. There is just no right reason to let somebody like that out. Somebody that could continue to cause harm to other women, could continue to cause harm elsewhere on the streets. And also just thinking about the fact that his wrongdoing initially, what he has done to the Bolger children, you know, without consideration ahead of it, just feels really alarming and devastating for their whole family. And it will continue to affect them for their whole lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now take comments from anyone who has not yet spoken and wants to comment on a case on today's agenda. So if you missed your opportunity earlier, this would be your opportunity.
I believe there's a hand raised for Imelda Chavez.
Hello.
Hi, you have 2 minutes and it begins when you begin to speak.
Hi, I'm here in support of Kelsey. I'm here because I got the pleasure to meet her back in 2015. We were in the same housing unit. I am formerly incarcerated woman, and I got to talk to her about a lot when it comes to do with like unhealthy relationship and relationships alone, because that's something that you know, we did have in common. So to that being said, I just feel like the multiple times that I got to talk to her and her insight, and for her to help me even with the Board of Parole herself, I feel like she is ready, and that she's not a threat to society. And I'm super nervous, by the way. So overall, I'm here in support of her. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone who has not spoken who wants to speak in support or opposition to any case on today's agenda. If you are in person, please step to the podium. If you are on video, press the raise your hand button. If participating by telephone, unmute and identify yourself. There are no more speakers for today's cases.
Thank you. On behalf of my colleagues, I wish to thank everyone for participating today. We will recess the open session of the October Executive Board meeting at this time. We will convene in open session tomorrow at 11 a.m. This meeting is now in recess.
All right, guys. So I want to go ahead and thank you guys. It looks like it's come to an end. The decisions would be announced tomorrow. I'll go ahead and keep an update. I know there was a few cases that you guys were interested in, and I'll go ahead and keep you guys posted. So we should know in about 24 hours whether they're found suitable to be paroled, and if they are, they'll be out in 5 days. And like I said on here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we're out. Rato.